It's the main event. I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and you know him as 17-year NFL veteran, 3-time Super Bowl champion for your Dallas Cowboys. And folks, we didn't think he was going to be here today because he was out scaling 1,667 feet over the weekend. He just got back from scaling that 11th tallest building in the world. Dale Hellestrate, everybody.
Good morning, Stephen. How are you?
Doing good.
You sound very, very upbeat and positive. I last week I started to get used to coming in here and say, "What happened to Steve?"
I kept to myself this weekend.
Yeah, all right. No arguments.
No phone calls. No, my phone wasn't working most of the weekend. Well, it was, but I didn't know who was calling. I didn't know who was texting.
Oh, that's still going on.
I got that. That was tedious. I had to re-input everything.
Really?
Yeah, which is nice. I got to purge a lot of my contacts. So
Yeah.
that was awesome. There's a lot of people in there that I haven't talked to in years. I'm like, why are they still in here? Delete, not putting that in, not putting that in. So that was a long, boring weekend of doing stuff like that. But then it's like when you upgrade your phone, like some of my apps work, some of them don't. You know, the important ones don't, the other ones do. And my favorite part is like I have a main email, for all my stuff. And I don't remember the password to it. And that's one of the emails that didn't come through on my phone. So I'm trying to get into my Wells Fargo account. Oh, we'll email you your password. I can't get into that email. So I'm trying to figure out the email side of it. And then email's like, well, we'll send it to this secondary email address. Well, I don't have that email anymore. So anyway, still working on a couple of things here.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. A lot of sports watching this weekend, getting stuff done around the house. Nice, lazy weekend. You deserve that every once in a while.
Yeah, well, obviously a couple of pretty good football games yesterday for different reasons.
First one was boring.
On Saturday, but still close game and
whatever. The snow coming in made it interesting to me.
Yeah.
I was like, this game sucks. 10-7 at halftime. Both teams not doing anything. Going forward on fourth down instead of kicking a field goal, I don't understand anymore. It cost you the game.
Again, what's so fascinating about that is I said at the time, kick the field goal.
Yes.
I was watching with a few people.
First half. We're talking about the first half one, not the snow ones.
I was the only one in the room who said kick the field goal.
Yeah.
But then again, they are privy to more information than we are.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling they knew that the second half was going to be a little different weather-wise than the first.
Sean Payton came out afterward and said we should have kicked the field goal in the first half.
Yeah.
Knowing the snow was coming.
Oh, they did know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah. That's what I mean. So he came out after the game, and the exact headline is, let me find it here real quick.
Okay.
Sean Payton regrets fourth down call and lost to Patriots.
Yeah.
It cost him the game.
So much in the National Football League now, it's like 4th and 2 is about a 90% go rate now.
Yeah.
It's just kind of automatic go. But if you knew that weather was coming, I'm sitting there going, why on earth did I not put $1,000 on the under?
Oh, I know. I know. I did my standard $5.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. Like that second half kicked off, and I went, "What am I doing?"
And we're sitting there in our living room. You've been there sitting on that couch,
Yeah.
and you sat next to John and bothered him, and all that. And
John went.
We had the Arcadia door open, and we're looking at the TV, going, "Now that's football weather."
Yeah, exactly. I was like I opened up my windows because my upstairs was getting a little warm yesterday. It's 70. It was like 76 upstairs.
So that was fun. I'm curious.
I enjoyed it because I like those types of football games. I know most people don't.
Yeah.
But
to me, you're one slip away from a touchdown.
So all it took was one guy planting wrong.
Yes.
And the thing, my favorite part though is that the Patriots were all white. You couldn't see them on my TV.
I wouldn't want to be the quarterback.
Yeah. Well, that's what I don't get. Then the Patriots kept doing like long downfield throws, and I'm like, no, 3 yards, man, and you're just dumping that thing off everywhere if you have to throw it at that point. But the Patriots were in the thing because they had a 3-point lead, so the Patriots were just playing keep away at that point. Once you get the lead, that's where the Broncos messed up.
Right.
Was not kicking that field goal. They had to come from behind.
Yeah,
which
tie
meant they had to
game,
do that.
you approach it completely differently.
Yeah.
I know we'll get into football more, but what I was fascinated by, obviously, your sons, that'll be something to get into, but I saw you and Lou on Twitter and the fight, and I know you were looking forward to it. And
it was good.
and all that. I saw we're like a main event was canceled or something happened or
because of obscure betting happened on the
that's right. Yes. So they were contacted by whoever overlooks the betting.
The gaming people in Las Vegas that oversee betting rules and things like that. So they do their own. Now, FBI's involved in it as well. The FBI watches this stuff. But afterwards, Dana White said that they were contacted that
unusual betting
patterns. Like everybody flooded one guy about an hour and a half before that fight, before the fight started.
Okay.
And
so it didn't go on.
And it turns out that the guy that everybody flooded, the other guy got hurt. And so it got out that the other guy was hurt.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay.
So everybody flooded the other guy, who was an underdog, by the way, in this fight also. So they just suspicious betting, so they just pulled it out, pulled it off. No more. I saw Dana White's comments afterwards, and he was like, yeah, we're not doing that again because we just went through this where the fight went off.
Okay. I did, because I saw that quote too.
Yeah, October, November.
Okay.
So Dana White this time was like, nope, they contacted us. We just canceled it on the spot. We're not doing that again. He can't talk much about it, but I do know the FBI is involved in this as well, kind of checking into. It could have just been innocent, where a guy walked out into the hallway and went, his shoulders, I don't know, his shoulders bumped, and then somebody overheard it, and then he went running to other people.
Yeah,
it is Vegas, you know people. So it could just be as innocent as that, or it could be just a devious thing that happened.
Okay, so that's why they didn't go up. I want to get
fight was canceled. Yeah,
I want to get your thoughts on the entire day and how it went, and
it was good.
And Paramount, and were you the one moaning and groaning about talking about being on Paramount?
I wasn't complaining about it, but okay. So when it was pay-per-view day, you all the prelims would be free, right? Because they're selling it. They want you to buy the $80 pay-per-view.
Right.
So it goes to Paramount. And the last fight ends, the last prelim fight ends. And then so the first main card fight's supposed to be at 7:15. Well, then they push it back to like 7:28 or something like that. And all it is promos about Paramount Plus. It's a 15-minute Paramount Plus intro on Paramount Plus.
Oh, really?
And so I just put out there and I go, okay, two things here. And then they went to the desk and they were talking about and selling the fights, like why you should watch these fights. And my problem is one, we already are watching it. You don't have to sell us on Paramount Plus.
Right.
It's like when you go to the movie theater. Like I go to AMC a lot, and they have who's that actress from Australia? They have her. She was married to Tom Cruise at one time. Anyway,
Nicole Kidman,
and they have her, and she's like selling AMC to you, and it's like you don't have to sell me on AMC. I'm sitting here.
Right.
I've already bought my tickets and my popcorn. I'm stuffing my face with popcorn. You don't have to sell me how great your theater is. I'm here.
Okay, so that was the first. So I understand. So I see it's on Paramount Plus.
Yes.
Is there a Paramount that is free and then Paramount Plus costs?
Paramount Plus costs, yes.
And Paramount
$8.99.
And how about Paramount?
Well, that's just CBS and all that stuff.
So could you watch the prelims?
Yep, on CBS. Well, on CBS, you could watch them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So you can watch the prelims of that. And then they have to sell it, right? You still need people to go, $8.99. I'll go buy the main event for a month,
right?
And then you can cancel it. Every fight's on Paramount Plus, so literally the lowest. There's a $13.99 no commercial tier, but with live events, you're going to get commercials, and that was what some people were complaining about afterwards too.
Okay.
I was just pointing out to them, we don't need 25 minutes. Of promotional advertising
on the station I'm watching
that we've already paid for and we're watching. Like, go promote that where people aren't watching.
Yes.
The event.
Yes. Okay.
Then they're like, "Oh, this fight coming up is not going to be missed," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's why I have this. That's why I have it on right now. I'd like to be watching that fight instead of you telling me why I shouldn't miss this fight." That was kind of annoying to me. The commercials I didn't even notice. But also between fights, I don't really pay attention.
Yeah.
So some people like to see the walkouts. I guess they were showing side-by-side ads on the walkout. I didn't even notice any of that.
Okay.
Some people afterwards are paying for it. Overall, fun fight night, long fight night, being early prelims and stuff to that effect. Overall, a nice fight night. Some controversy.
Yeah.
Couple people won that probably shouldn't have won.
Do you know how Lou did? Like, do you keep track?
Yeah, he was 4-2 on the weekend.
Okay.
I think a 3-point unit, 3.25 or something.
All
unit
right.
deal.
All right. So Lou's off to a good start.
I should probably listen to Lou because I broke even. Actually, I think I lost $2 on the whole night.
Okay.
Yeah. But I lost one that I was stupid to bet, but I was like, oh, I'll just take a chance, not realizing that, if I didn't do it, I wasn't thinking. If I didn't place that bet, I would have won like $8, something like that. But I got stupid, so I ended up losing a couple dollars.
Did the
overall.
guy they're trying to get set up for a champion, did he win?
Yeah, but he shouldn't have.
Oh, that question, really?
He was one of them. Yeah.
Really?
O'Malley from here. Yeah, not a good fight.
So went the distance and it was a decision.
Yeah, and I don't. Yeah. That was
really.
That was we're gonna promote this guy up. Type of a deal.
Okay.
In my humble opinion. But overall, it was a fun night. I liked it. We actually went over to his friend's house and everything to watch it, which made for a long night. Not gonna lie to you. I can't wait for the time change to come because then the fights will be over by 9 o'clock. Like this went till 10 or something like that, and I was just like, all right, it's getting too late. We got to get out of here. Ridiculous.
Okay.
Yeah. But Gaethje won. So that was good. Your boy from Stafford, Arizona.
Yeah.
The great Gaethje family from Stafford.
Oh, I thought Gaethje was fighting that O'Malley guy.
No. That was the Gaethje was the main event.
And that Patty wasn't the main event?
Yeah, it was Gaethje Patty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Gaethje lost.
No. Patty is different than O'Malley.
Oh.
You're confusing the two guys.
I am. Okay.
Yeah. So O'Malley's the local kid with the rainbow hair and everything that everybody loves. He's lost his last 2 fights. I think he's good, but I don't think he's like great. But he has a huge fan base. But that's the thing. Gaethje won the main event, just pummeled the dude. Like the British dude's face was all
really
puffy and everything. But it went the distance, which I was impressed with because I didn't think it'd even go the distance with how he's getting his face pummeled in and everything. But yeah, so there you go. Good times. Good times on Saturday night. What'd you do this weekend?
What did I do this weekend?
I did watch the Rolex 24 really quick. That was a snoozer, Dale. I'm glad I went to bed. The 24-hour race. 6 hours of caution because of fog. So they drove around throughout the night at slow speeds under caution. First of all, I just wanted to say a joke. Follow me at the pit stop for the racing stuff and everything. Sorry, Dale, I have to get a plug in there.
24 hours.
Yeah. I went to bed early on that. Thank God. Overnight was just driving slow and caution with fog.
I golfed Friday and Saturday.
How'd you
do? The perfect antithesis of what a amateur golfer is. On Friday, I shoot an 84.
Mm-hmm. This at Moon Valley, both of them?
Yep, and make a birdie and was on the winning team and everything fell my way. I think I won about $100, which is a lot in our group. And then come back on Saturday.
How much did you get back?
And I shot 95.
Ooh.
And I wasn't playing in the team game, so I only lost $20, thank goodness. But I didn't miss a putt on Friday. I was making putts from all over the place. Started off on Saturday. I hit it. I still don't know how it got there, but it ended up at about 2 feet away on the second hole, a par 3. And,
did you roll it or was it in the air?
No, it was in the air, but it was left. And there's hills, so it usually kicks it back in towards the green, but it was like 2 feet. And so now I'm sitting there going, waiting. I'm like,
don't tell me you should.
I don't miss these. My guys in the group are like, we should probably just give it to him, but it's for birdie. And didn't even touch the cup.
I was going to ask you, did it at least lip out or something?
No, didn't even touch the damn cup.
You didn't end up in the sand trap, did you?
I mean, I was sitting there going, how do you... Because you're standing over the putt going, there's no way you can miss this. There's no way you can miss this.
I learned that lesson early. I think I've told that before. I used to play in like a tournament in Palm Springs. Right. A bunch of guys got together and played. And it did the thing where you did the horse race and alternate shots or whatever. Yeah. And I nailed one out of the sand green. Like I was like, I couldn't even see the hole, hit it out of there. Just absolute pure luck. Like inches from the hole. Guy walks up just all cocky. Dink misses it, and you get knocked out in that round.
Yeah, right.
And that's what I learned that lesson. I was like, always take your time.
Yes.
Line up. Don't think it's automatic. This was right on the edge.
Yeah.
And so I learned that lesson early on. I've never seen clubs thrown so far from this fine gentleman after missing that.
And words probably come out of the mouth.
Yeah, and then the best part is the next driving hole, both guys shake the drives out of bounds. And he's like, we would have won this thing if I would just win.
Adding insult to injury.
Yeah, so I learned that lesson early on. Always take the deep breath. Yeah. That's why when I watch like the golfers, the professional golfers, and they just walk up and they're like, oh, look around, and they go, oh, dink. And they're like 3 feet out. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm not saying you have to walk behind it and look and stuff, but at least take like a breath before you do that.
Right.
It's just in case it goes. I did watch that Alex Honnold, though. I watched some of it. The thing that cracked me up, he did go up that Taipei 101 building. I alluded to what you wanted to do this weekend, and he beat you to it and everything. So it's the highest free solo climb of any urban structure in history, by the way. Here's what I don't understand. I did not catch the end of it. I saw the end of it later. First of all, it cracks me up. Netflix did a 10-second delay just in case he fell. That's awesome. That's awesome. Nothing says I have faith in you like a 10-second.
Always think ahead, Steve.
Second of all, okay, this is what I don't know. And if you watched this thing or saw it, I looked and I couldn't find it. I saw him at the very top. Like he's at the very top of the steeple thing and he grabs it. He's standing there for a picture. How did he get down? This is a legitimate question that I got. How did he get down from there?
There's not an elevator in there?
He's on the top of the building. He would have to climb down a little bit to probably get into it. How did he get down from this? I'm assuming a helicopter picked him up or something.
That's what I would guess.
But how did he get down?
Parachute down?
Well, no, because if he had a parachute, that would defeat the daredevil aspect of it. If he just fell.
Well, maybe there's one at the very top for it. As long as he gets there.
I was trying to figure this out. Did they show how he got down? I'm just curious. How did he get down from the top of that thing?
Things that make Steve
just the stupidity of the things that make me wonder from that side. Like I said, I watched some of it, and I'm not going to lie to you. I just lost interest. It's an amazing feat. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
It's an amazing climb. I just don't have any interest in watching that stuff.
See, I could see your morbid self watching to just hope he falls.
So I read beforehand that they were doing a delay, and I was like, oh, we're not going to see anything anyway. Who cares?
Wow.
Yes, Dale, my morbid brain went there. Yeah.
So while you're watching that, I also watched some of the golf tournament this week.
I did. I watched Scotty's comeback yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, my gosh, this guy.
Why even compete? Why does anybody else even show up? He was not playing well all weekend.
I mean, he was
playing good, but not I'm going to win this thing good. And then he wins by 4 strokes on top of it. Yeah. Not only does he come back and take the lead, then he just runs away from everybody on top of it. This guy's better than Tiger is.
He won by 3 or 4 strokes. He hit the ball in the water on 17. Yeah. I think his caddy probably said, hey, let's make this interesting for TV.
4 strokes, yeah. 20th career PGA Tour victory. He has 14 wins in his last 35 starts, folks. If you do the math there, might have to break out a calculator.
I think it's 70% or something.
40%. Yeah, that's why we need to break out a calculator right there. We don't do math. It's 40%. He's won 40% of his last 35 starts.
Not top 10s, top 5s.
Not seconds. Not made the cuts. Won 40% of his last tournaments. Starting off his season with another win.
And usually,
it was fun to watch.
In the past, he's played in this tournament. He's done okay, but he's knocking rust off.
Yeah. Well, what was it last year or the year before? He was coming back from hurting his hand.
Yeah.
And he struggled. Remember that when everybody's like, "Oh, Scotty doesn't have it anymore."
He cut himself cutting some meat for the grill or something.
Wasn't he rolling like pasta or something?
Oh, it might have been that.
And he didn't have a roller, so he was using a wine glass, and it broke. Wasn't that him that did that?
I think it was.
They cut his hand and tore some ligaments. This is a millionaire, folks, that doesn't have a rolling plan laying around. Or somebody to roll his pasta for him.
Yes. Or just run down to Target and get one.
I know. Yeah, I know. So Amex winner, first win of the year for Scotty Scheffler.
And so the next time we'll see him is out here.
WM Phoenix Open.
Yeah, he's taking this week off down in San Diego.
It's the San Diego tournament.
Yeah, Torrey Pines.
Yep.
And then Phoenix.
Oh, yeah, you need a break. At this point, he's just giving his trophies away, right? Like he's just like, hey, kid, you want a PGA trophy?
No, it's kind of like the White House, when they're putting on that new ballroom. He's got to put an addition onto his house.
They're like, he's all, yeah, I own the house next door too.
Yeah.
Oh, you renting that out? No, that's just my trophy house. This guy's dominating. I mean, this guy is dominating at Tiger levels, and very little talk about it.
Well, the thing is, so I saw something yesterday. Scotty, Tiger, Jack Nicklaus are the only guys to win, I think, 4 majors and have 30 wins before they're 30 or 20 wins before they're 30.
And he's young, too. That's the other thing. This isn't like a 35-year-old that's finding his stride late in his career. And here's the scary thing. Dare I say this? When Tiger was winning, he didn't have kids, no family obligations. He could just concentrate. Scotty's got a couple kids. Got a wife that
kids like
babies,
under 5,
babies. He's got a wife, and he's still going out there and just winning on this guy. This guy gets arrested before a tournament and goes out and wins it. And that's the scary part of this, because usually, and I believe in this, when you're young and winning, as you get older, you get spread out a little bit, right?
You get tugged in different directions. Your focus, and
he's already being tugged in those directions, folks.
I would just like to be Jason Day. You shoot a 64 on the final day, and you lose by 4 strokes.
Yeah. And you played your mind. You played your mind out there. You're like, oh, never played better. And then you look at the scoreboard. What? Is that right? That can't be right. Is that right? You're like looking at your caddy, calling over a scoring official. He's like, oh, did you hit a ball different? You have a question? No. Is that correct?
Just crazy.
Then Patrick Reed won the Dubai. I know you don't care about Dubai, but why is that interesting? Patrick Reed also said he does not have a contract with Live Golf at the moment.
Right.
Was that a hint to the PGA to step up and make the offer better?
It could be, but I do know this. Almost to a man, the PGA looks at him differently than they do Brooks Koepka.
You don't need Patrick Reed.
No. And they don't like him.
Yeah, that's the other side of it. Is Patrick Reed, I think, only has one option.
Yes, and that's why he jumped at that when it first came about.
But that's my question, though. Is that him saying publicly to the PGA, hey, I don't have a live contract?
Right.
Maybe not make your offer better, but include me in what you were doing before, please.
Can I get the same deal as Brooks?
That's the big news from that side. I'm surprised, guy. I know why they do it. Like, I know why Rory went and played in Dubai. Money. But if you're so against the Live Tour, that's where the money comes from. Why would you go over there and play in that tournament? That's the stuff that confuses me.
Right.
Is if you're so against it, why are you going and supporting that tournament? If you're so against what they're doing, against the PGA side, it baffles me. That ended up being an all right tournament.
I didn't pay much attention to that.
It's so weird, though, how everything's a desert there, and then they just have these long, plush green.
Yeah.
Like, they do the aerial shots, and it's just all desert everywhere, and then you just have, like, this stretch of grass that's perfectly laid out.
Well, that was like Palm Springs, especially in between the mountains and all that. Imagine you're back in the Midwest and the Northeast, and you're
snow.
All that snow and ice.
You could just be in Denver, Dale.
Yeah.
They got nailed last night.
You'd be in Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas was crazy. Yep. I was seeing now Texas is different because their electrical grid is separate from everything else.
Yeah.
So, and you've learned that lesson before with that last cold storm. Prepare yourself in case something happens to the electrical grid. But yeah, that's just crazy. I saw Nashville was just hammered.
Yeah.
Trees down everywhere because of the frost. And I hope you guys, we didn't even talk about this. I hope you guys survived what they were predicting is severe rainstorm rolling through the valley this weekend. I mean, Hopefully, you guys survived that. You had your life vest ready. You were able to maneuver the streets that were.
Had your canoes all hooked up and ready to go.
That's what I did. I just sat in my canoe, ready for it.
With your helmet on.
Yeah, just ready to go. And I just sat there all weekend.
Life vest on.
How wrong can you? Even the snowstorms happened like a day and a half later than they were supposed to. How can we be so wrong at this in today's day and age? How can we be so wrong about this?
Weather forecasters and baseball players. You're right about 30% of the time.
They're all computer models, though. Yeah. Like, that's what I don't like. What? This is why everybody's like, AI knows everything. Does it? Completely wrong. It sprinkled. We went to a touch football game on Friday night, and it started to sprinkle on us. Like, oh, here it comes. Sprinkling now. Yeah, here we go. Nothing.
Please tell me a flag football game.
What'd I say?
Touch.
Oh, flag football.
Oh, okay.
Whatever that is, yeah. It wasn't an NFL pass. It was a different league.
Okay.
But yeah, I went to one of those on Friday nights. Friday night as well. So
look at you out and about on the town.
I know, and I don't like it.
Going out to watch the fights, going out to watch football.
I just went to another house, but I had to drive there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like it.
Whose house you go to? Whose house did I not get invited to?
You want to be invited?
No.
Are you going to show up? It's out by me.
I don't think I could watch 5 hours of fights.
No. Well, that's the problem. That's the problem. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, that's long.
But then it's not just that it's 5 hours of fights. Well, you could have showed up later. You could have showed up for the main card at 7 or whatever. Here's the problem with UFC fights: is one fight will end early, like one fight ended, first round knockout, done, over. Well, they're scheduled.
Yeah.
So they schedule these fights for 15 minutes because that's how long they go. So then there's 15 minutes before the next fights. So you had 30 minutes of nothingness.
Well, because just so people understand, everybody has their warm up routine and all that.
Yeah,
and if
you can't bump it up.
Yeah, if I'm starting at 5 o'clock, I started at full whatever time I started at.
Yeah, you're doing your exercises. You're getting your body warm, getting the lather up. Then you have to get checked by the judges and all that stuff. You have to get in the mental. You can't go, hey, we know you think you're going to fight in 30 more minutes, but we're going to throw you out there now. And you're like, I just had a banana. I just got my protein or my potassium. I'm not even ready to go. So it does get boring from that.
When you said the banana thing, did you? Because I know Lou was all over this. A couple of the guys right after weighing in, like, collapsed.
One guy fainted. One guy. Okay, I shouldn't. But they go to. So what they do is they have commentary where they like go to the commentary guy. So the guy weighs in and the camera's on him. He weighs in. And then they go to the commentary guys, and the guys are like, "Oh, he weighed in at, whatever and everything, and oh, he looks mean up there and everything. It looks great." And behind him, the guy takes like 2 steps, and just boom, doesn't put his hands out or nothing. Dale just face plants onto that stage, and you see people running in there for him and stuff like that. So like it's a serious thing. Like I didn't laugh in the moment, but afterwards, knowing he was okay. You're like, can you just imagine? That'd be like you guys watching us right now, and somebody just walks behind us and just face plants into the ground. It's like, what the heck?
That would be me.
It was like, what? But yeah, a couple of those guys like cutting weight.
I was gonna say, so as a gambler, I'm gonna ask Lou what he did. Do you immediately go to your betting app? And
because that means they're weak.
Yes.
And then that means they have to drink a lot, eat a lot to get their back. Whether you faint or not, it takes a while to recover from that.
Yeah, one day you're still going to be feeling the effects.
Yeah, you're going to be a little woozy still, right? Your body's going to feel a little thing. Oh, no, I think me personally, I took it as bet against those two.
Yes.
bet against that guy at least going forward. Yeah, no, it was interesting.
Wow.
how you work on that. So overall, good weekend, and except for if you're a Suns fan. Boy, Friday night, yeah.
Oh, Friday night, last night.
Well, the funny thing is, so we're at this flag football game, for 4th graders, and we're sitting there, and I'm paying attention to it. My phone buzzes and goes, "Jalen Green removes himself from the game," as I see that, and then we leave the game and we go grab some dinner. And we like go to sit down and everything, and I'm driving, and I see on my desk, I see on my phone as I'm driving, it just pops up and it says Booker removed from the game. And I went, what just happened? So Autumn has no idea this has happened. So we stop at dinner and everything. She's like, I got to go to the bathroom. She goes to the bathroom. And so I'm like retweeting him out or whatever. She goes back and she goes, Green and Booker went out in this game? I'm like, oh, yeah, I didn't have the heart to tell you while we were doing the other stuff. Like, what is happening right now? We'll get into that. College football playoff news. I don't know if this is good or bad. From that side, hey, Steelers hire a new coach. We're down to
a new coach.
Well, for them, it's a new coach.
Yes,
he's from Pittsburgh. He's going back home.
Going back home.
Are you a Mike McCarthy fan?
Not really. Not really.
Even his Green Bay days.
At least in Green, I'm just not a fan of his curmudgeonly. I don't like. I don't.
Oh,
like
you're going to that side.
The aura about him.
I think. Yeah, I think that's his problem.
Although I'll tell you this,
he's very much statuesque. If you know my problem with statues,
I
don't like his offense, Dale.
I was reading yesterday. He coached 5 years in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Dak was missed either the whole season, the majority of 2 seasons, and they had losing records.
Yeah,
the 3 seasons he was healthy, they won 12 or more games. So
Mike McCarthy can do good things. Yeah. I don't like his offense though. It's snoozer offense. And I don't mind a nice running fast offense or games won 7-3. I don't mind that kind of football. Just control the time. And that's the type of offense he got. But I think I blame Aaron Rodgers a lot for Green Bay's not winning more Super Bowls. But Mike McCarthy has a big part to do with that too, with his offensive system that he employs and stuff. Which, by the way, might be good for the Steelers. Pull back that offense a little bit. I think with Aaron Rodgers this year, they try to be too flashy. I feel like they need to be more Jerome Bettis type offense.
It'll be interesting to see. Does Aaron Rodgers come back now, or
I was reading because I saw a lot of people. I saw a lot of people kind of guess on that. Oh, he's coming back to bring Aaron Rodgers back. But then I was reading last night, that no, he was brought in to bring a different quarterback into the Steelers, a younger kid back into the Steelers to develop him and stuff like that. More than bring back the big guy. But I mean, one thing you got to say about the Steelers organization, they don't miss when they hire. So it's hard. So it's hard to go, you got the wrong guy.
3 coaches in 70 years?
Yeah, in their history of their team. It's hard to say, well, you guys hired the wrong guy. Because haven't we learned a lesson by now? They don't hire the wrong guy. They haven't yet, at least. So something to walk there. But I don't know, man. I just at some point, if you like just making the playoffs and losing in the first round, Mike McCarthy's your guy. I just don't know if he's going to be able to rebuild you to be a Super Bowl contender.
Well, why did he come to Arizona? Wouldn't we just salivate over making the playoffs?
Oh, my God. Mike McCarthy here.
So Pittsburgh makes their move. So we're sitting here again. Arizona is either going to be the last or second to last team to hire a coach.
Raiders are going to be the last. I'll tell you that right now because they're going to get Clint Kubiak. I was reading over the weekend.
And he's going to the Super Bowl.
Clint Kubiak so they have to wait. Yeah. Clint Kubiak wants to be the Raiders head coach.
Unlike college football, NFL has a little bit of rules.
Yes. So if you haven't, I read about this morning.
Yeah.
If you haven't interviewed the guy already, you can't interview him until after February 9th, the day after the Super Bowl. If you talk to him at any point during this playoff run, you can do a phone interview with him this week.
Yeah.
Or a Zoom interview with him this week.
Well, that's what's so surprising to me because a lot of these coaches were doing phone interviews like wild card weekend and then the divisional round weekend. Yeah. You'd read where Friday night there's a 3-hour meeting.
Salah was meeting was all phone, but
right.
With Miami and then Arizona in one day,
right?
And then that was like a Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday or Friday night.
He played Saturday.
Yeah, and this is the week that honestly
you can do it.
There's a lot of downtime now. The way that we handled it in Dallas, the way they handled it,
it's 2 weeks till the Super Bowl. If right. You don't know,
and so what Jimmy did, and then Barry carried that over to his Super Bowl. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week, we practiced hard. And game plan was in, and it was like, okay, we're actually playing this Sunday. because once you get there, all of a sudden, your Wednesday is you start off. Everybody has to go to a press conference, sit around for an hour and a half. You don't have media time. You don't have meeting times.
Yeah,
practices somewhere different, and
I actually have where they're practicing at, which is a fascinating thing also. So we'll get into that here coming up. It's fascinating. The game is in the Bay Area, obviously. Not San Francisco, because they don't play in San Francisco anymore, but the 49ers don't. But it's interesting where they're not practicing coming up. So we'll get into that also. I got a lot of weird stats going into this Super Bowl, mainly around Sam Darnold. And everything. So we'll get into all that as well as we'll have to talk Suns at some point today as well. College football playoffs. Australian Open, Dale. We're going to talk that today as well.
Before you get to that, because you said Sam Darnold, one of John Holmberg's sports axioms is.
Why do you have to use big words?
He said if you have a ginger quarterback, you can't win a Super Bowl.
Well, he's about to prove that wrong.
And he said Sam Darnold might prove me wrong, but he'd be the first.
Would he be the first? I don't have that stat.
The first ginger quarterback.
Really?
Yeah.
To think about that.
Yeah, you go back over all the quarterbacks that are not a redhead.
I've never even thought about something like that as well either. So we'll talk about all that, including the Australian Open, Dale.
I can't wait. The Joker.
The Joker. Oh.
Djokovic.
Well, Giannis is out another 4 to 6 weeks.
Giannis doesn't want to play in Milwaukee.
That's what I was going to ask you. That's what I'm wondering. If that calf injury keeps popping up.
I think if Giannis gets traded to contender, all of a sudden that thing would start being a little better.
Giannis gets traded, and he's like, oh, calf's good. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, Dr. Rivers said, I don't think it looks great. This calf keeps coming up, and it's concerning. Yeah, you got to question that.
We got that happening here in the Valley, too.
Come on back, folks. The main event. And we're back here. Dale, I just perused flag football games to answer that question.
Yeah, I was going to say, first of all, you called it touch, and I'm like, you're going to watch a touch football game?
The nice thing about those flag football games is they're like 45 minutes. It's that long.
Yes.
They're great.
Same thing. That's what Graham plays in. And
watch these young, and now, I don't know how old you're on fourth grade. I don't.
Graham's 5. He's in kindergarten, so probably 9 or 10.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
The energy these kids have, the athleticism these kids have, the disappointment on their face. It's just amazing to watch also. Not that I'm laughing that they're disappointed, but, like a kid will get open. Because the quarterback can only hold the ball for so long. It's like 5 seconds or something. You just got to throw it. So you're just a guy you can only defend so long there. So a guy gets open, he can just see it. It's kind of fun to watch at that level and stuff like that. But Australian Open, only seeded players are left in the Australian Open, including 11 of the top 12 are left in this tournament. The chalkiest Australian Open of all time. I think it's the chalkiest major of all time as well. So, yeah. So the first Grand Slam of the Open era, which is since 1968, Dale, in which no unseeded men reached the round of 16. So it's only the best.
Yeah, which should make for a good week this week.
It's going to mean you're going to have some good competition out there, right? In terms, nobody's going to have an easy way through it, like a la the Patriots in the NFL.
Wow!
I gotta get my shot in.
Wow!
I saw somebody broke down the record of every team they played. They beat one team with the winning record all regular season, and then in the playoffs, just look, you got to beat the teams in front of you. There's no doubt about that. But I mean, even in the playoffs, they've gotten lucky, right? C.J. Stroud struggling as a quarterback right now. No Bo Nix yesterday. On top, then the snowstorm comes in and they have the lead. And I forget who they played the first round, but it was a team that
they had a bye, didn't they?
No.
Denver had the bye.
Yeah, who they played in the first round, but they had a quarterback issue. So I mean, you got to beat who you got in front of you. I'm not knocking it for that, but it is an amazing thing to see. And then they look that good on top of it. Now, yesterday they struggled a little bit, but all of that was weather, right? Super Bowl ain't going to be that way. Big snowstorm's going to roll through.
Patriots beat the Chargers in the wild card.
Oh, the Chargers, yeah, Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
With his arm and the injuries on that offensive line for the Chargers and stuff to that effect. So, yeah, so Australian Open, if you're interested in that and watching ranked guys play each other, there you go from that side as well. There is one American there, 25th seeded Lerner Tien. He's 20 years old as well. He's the youngest American man to reach a major quarterfinal since Andy Roddick did it back in 2002.
Really?
So you have somebody on the men's side you can root for if you're an American fan out there as well. So there you go.
Yeah. Well, and also keep an eye on Pegula for the women's side of Australia.
The women's. Coco Gauff still there.
Yeah. Pegula is the daughter. This is what's fascinating to me, the daughter of the owners of the Bills.
Yes.
And Sabres.
Yeah, I was going to say, you have to say who they are because most people probably don't know who the owner her dad was the guy last week that was throwing Keon Coleman under the bus.
Yes.
Last week, that's her dad. Yeah.
But you usually don't see kids that come from multi-millionaires / billionaires.
They're billionaires.
Excel.
Tennis, though, is different to me because she obviously grew up in an environment where tennis was big.
But you still have to put in the work.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
You don't see you'll see him do it, to a certain extent, but you don't see him get to this stage. What you do. You agree with? I remember the guy that yelled at everybody all the time on the court back in the day, and they go, well, hey man, your kids play tennis? He goes, yeah, but not very good, because they grew up with money.
Yes.
He phrased it a different way, but
yeah,
he's like, I was angry when I was a kid. I had to prove myself. These kids don't want to prove themselves, and that's this whole second generational wealth thing.
Right. That's what makes Pegula really, in my mind, stand out.
Yeah.
She didn't have to go play tennis 5 hours a day every day.
Exactly. She had a private coach.
But she still had to go do it.
Yeah. To get to that level. I grew up with somebody. His name was Andrew. I'll give him a plug. He played golf and he went professional and he was good. He was good at the high school level. Like
Andrew Putnam?
No. No, this is the thing. This is my point. You never have heard of him.
Yeah.
Even if you're a diehard tennis fan. He was really good in high school, like state champions, competed for state championships, everything. Went pro. Highest he ever got was something like 149th in the world.
It's amazing.
And he was an amazing tennis player. Like, you watched him and you were like, wow.
Yeah. How good are the other 148?
Yeah, that's the point. That's the point. I also knew a golfing guy that, so if you don't know, to make the tour, the difference between tour players and non-tour players, everybody can hit a long drive. Everybody can hit their irons. So where you don't make the tour is literally minuscule. It's your putting, usually.
Yeah.
Is where you don't make it. I know a guy that, I don't remember the ratings now, but he was missing the tour by like 0.1 on his putts. He was 0.1 per round. He was putting an extra time and couldn't qualify for a tour card.
Well, I saw a study, whether it was last year or the year before, the difference between being number 125, which is the last at that point to get your card, and number 1 was literally like 1.01 strokes per round.
That's got to be just infuriating.
1.01 strokes per round.
I say that all the time with NBA basketball players because when the 12th man goes into the game, you're like, God, he sucks. He's horrible. And then you go play a game. Like go pull up a bowl. Just playing basketball like rec, like just out playing basketball on his own. Go watch him do it. He's dribbling through his legs like a pro. He's unbelievable with the ball handling skills. And then go watch Bol Bol in an NBA game.
He was a savior 2 years ago.
Well, it's energy was the savior 2 years ago. We talked about that, but it is amazing how you could just sit there and say all that stuff. Like yesterday in that game, the Rams guy that returning that punt, he's done that 1,000,000 times in his life. And he trips and falls. His leg buckles out from underneath him, and he falls backward. And everybody's like, what a clown. Doesn't know what he's doing out there.
Yeah.
That one moment. Yeah. And it's like that guy has done that 1,000,000 times in his life.
Well, I've thought about that a lot. And to me, it seems like it's really prevalent offensive lineman in the NFL. How does this guy become the 8th offensive lineman and maybe plays 5 or 6 years?
Yeah.
And that guy's the 9th offensive lineman and he doesn't have a roster spot.
Yeah, it just goes from team to team and practice squad.
Yeah, and they're both 6'6". They're both 310. They both can bench press the building. And they're just one little thing that a coach sees that, I want him over him.
Well, it goes, who was that offensive lineman that said it? If an offensive lineman gives up 3 sacks in a season, he said, you're working at Amazon.
Yeah.
He wasn't being disrating. He was just saying you're not in the pro ring. He goes, but a defensive lineman only gets 3 sacks, and he's on and he gets a $12 million contract, and all that stuff. It's how close this stuff is.
But the thing is, as an offensive lineman, if you give up a sack a game, you're not playing.
Yeah,
you're gone.
About a quarter way through the season, people like me are going, "What are you doing out there?"
Hey, he's a turnstile over there. Get him out of there. But if a defensive lineman gets a half a sack a game and ends the season with 9, 10, guess what? He's going to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, and he's signing,
isn't that whack?
He's signing it's $15 million.
How whack is that? Jeez, Steve.
It's that close out there. What you're dealing with, so.
And last thing I used to always bust Troy's chops about the fact that you're a Pro Bowler, you complete 60% of your passes. If I complete 60% of my snaps, I'm gone in week 2.
Exactly. It's not even close. You're out of there.
You're
gone.
I mean,
look at Stidham yesterday. He didn't play terrible. Yeah, he made a couple mistakes, but a lot of quarterbacks make the same mistakes. Right. But I mean, he didn't play terrible yet. That guy can't get a starting job anywhere in this league.
No, there's just something a little bit off about him.
It's like I nothing when I watched Stidham yesterday said this guy can't start for some low tier team in this league.
Cardinals, go get him.
I wouldn't go that.
What are you mumbling about?
Hey, college football expansion officially on hold. I told you a week or so, 2 weeks ago, or the playoff, excuse me, college football playoffs. They're going to be made at 12 teams next season. Then I told you before, Big Ten wants 24-team playoff. SEC only wants 16-team field. The Big Ten, these two, every other commissioner, I don't understand why you did this, but every other league said, we'll do whatever you guys want to do. So now mom and dad are fighting, right? Big Ten will only sign off on a 16-team field if the end game is 24. And the SEC is saying no. So we're stuck at 12 going forward. Interesting enough here, and there's some details. Notre Dame, if they are in the top 12 of seeding, automatic bid moving forward. I don't understand why we even do this.
Well,
why does it's just so stupid? Notre Dame can stack their schedule with nothing, and they'll be in the top 12, and then they'll get an automatic playoff bid and get the money.
But if they're in the top 12, don't you think they deserve?
Did they deserve it this year? Did Miami or Notre Dame deserve to go this year?
Well, obviously Miami did.
Yeah, they made the right choice this year. But last year wouldn't even be a discussion. We would have seen Notre Dame in that game next year. But like I said, then we have the whole G5 and Group of Five and all that. Like the two of those, Notre Dame should have been in over one of the Group of Five.
Yes, you could put one in. That's fine.
So you could have still probably gotten Miami in if you want to look at it that way. Then they're also doing Everything else stays the same. They're doing some money stuff now, is what they're changing from that side. So that's where we stand as of now for the college football playoffs. And they need to take it out of a bunch of grown people sitting in Barker lounges looking miserable, deciding who goes in. They obviously don't know what they're doing. It's annoying. Got to get it out. I just leave it to a computer or just your top 12 teams. How about your top 11 teams if you want it? Now, they include the group of 5 so they don't get sued.
Right.
But if I'm a group of 5, if I was James Madison, they could have gone on and won their bowl game and had a really good year. Their last memory is we made the college football playoffs and got destroyed. Woo! So I think it's dumb. But they do that so they can be included and they don't get sued is the reason why they do it from that perspective. So have top 11. Doesn't matter what your ranking is. But then that way, because you can manipulate the rankings. They do it all the time in SEC land. You'll see a team jump up. They play Georgia in 2 weeks, so we need them ranked. Let's get them ranked, even though they don't deserve it. So Georgia can play another ranked team, and it'll look good for them. So you can manipulate that, but it takes more people to manipulate the rankings than it does these people sitting on Barca loungers making the wrong decisions on the board, college football playoff board. My 2 cents. Do you want to see a 16 or 24 team playoff?
2014 would be absolutely asinine.
Yeah.
In my mind. But obviously, I guess this is the last year of the ESPN TV contract, so money's going to go up. I know they're going to find a different way to. But, the teams in each conference that didn't even play get a couple $1 million.
Yes. Oh, ACC allowed, Miami's keeping all of their money. ACC does not split it. Every other conference splits the money. ACC's the one that
has the screwiest tiebreaker system.
Yeah, so Miami keeps everything. Well, that's my argument, is you got to fix your tiebreakers, because Duke, Virginia was a ridiculous ACC. No, Duke ended up winning it. Won the ACC, so they can put that on their mantle. But it's just dumb when you have this fight. And then even the Big Ten, they avoided the big tiebreaker because the 2 teams ended up winning it and going on. But that's what I would change. I would focus changing more than that stuff. But I agree with you, 24. Because here's the thing. If you're the 24th team in the playoff, you have 0 chance of winning the championship. 0.
Right.
Believe it or not, you have 3, maybe 4 teams that actually have a chance to win a championship.
Although, would you put Miami in that category going into the playoffs?
Oh, yeah, no, I said it. Miami in the playoffs is going to do damage.
They're a 10 seed.
I said that on the air here. I said
I wasn't listening.
Miami can do damage in this. Carson Beck, baby. There's 3 or 4 teams at the most that can win a championship. So everybody else, you're just watching football. You're just watching bowl games. Who gets eliminated? But if you're also not winning it if you're the 24th seed, because you have to play every week to get to the final game. And the bigger teams will get buys and stuff to that effect. Moving forward, I think for football, 24 is ridiculous. I would even argue with the way the buys are working right now, I would argue 16 is ridiculous, because that means you're gonna have the buys and they're gonna affect things more often as well.
Well, you'd still, in my mind, you have 16 teams. You're still only have 4 buys.
But the difference, I guess, could be, like I said, you need to move it up too. You need to move it up too.
But that would.
I don't mind if you have a bye if you only miss 1 week.
Yeah.
But when you have a month off,
right?
That's stupid. That's stupidity. That's stupidity. But they should literally end the season, give everybody 2 weeks off, start the playoffs then. And if you can't wrap up by January 1st, then right after January 1st is where you wrap up, the week after and stuff. But if you get a bye week, then you're playing. Boom, boom. You're conditioned to play every week. To take a week off is ridiculous. No matter how much hard you practice and stuff to that effect, your body's not conditioned to getting hit like that.
Well, the thing is, everybody's championship games and all that are done the week before Army-Navy.
Yeah.
Army-Navy game is a standalone weekend.
That's why I said 2 weeks. Everybody gets 2 weeks off.
Everybody gets that week off, and then you can start the playoffs the following week.
Yeah. Just like you do the bowl games.
Yeah.
And play them in bowl games. Play them. Now, everybody's going to go, well, you should do the home games or whatever. Okay, we'll do the home teams. I don't care. But, I don't know. Then you're getting into cold weather stuff, and it's just whatever, man.
It's football weather, Steve.
Yeah, I love it.
That's football weather in Denver yesterday.
I've been in Denver when that weather rolls in like that, man, and it is quite. You literally are just sitting there and everything's fine, and then like next second you can't see outside your front window and stuff like that, where it's amazing. So
the time lapse pictures between the first quarter and the fourth quarter was just.
But even at halftime and then coming back from halftime, you're like, oh lordy, from that side. So here's how they're breaking down the payments, by the way. 29% annually of the revenue model will go for the Big Ten and the SEC. That'll be $21 million per school. 17% of the revenue model. Now, this isn't in stone. It's just what's being reported, multiple sources. 17% is going to go to the ACC. So that'll be about $13 million to each school. 15% for the Big 12, which will be about $12 million each. 9% for the group of 6 conferences collectively. So that'll be about $1.8 million per school. For them. Now, Oregon State and Washington State will receive $3.6 million. That's because of the Pac-12 model that's there and stuff to that stuff. Yeah. So they got these percentages because they're based on previous college football appearances among member schools in each conference. Is how they came to these percentages. And this is just stupid and asinine. That's why the SEC and Big Ten, ACC and Big Ten want to skew the rules to where they get more teams in, because then they can get more money from that perspective. And it's not fair process. College football is going sideways. If anything, you could say NFL is fair, right? You have to play your schedule. You have to win enough games to get into the playoffs, and then you have to win.
Yep.
College football, they slant it to certain places instead of it being equal and let them go out there and play on the field. And that's, to me, is more of the sad side of college football that we're seeing now. Nothing's equally split now. Hey, may the best man win on the field. No, may the best man with the thumb on the scale win out there is more what you look at as well from the college football side of things.
Boy, oh boy, for a guy who just can't say it out loud.
Well, they're not the best. Big Ten's the best conference in all that. They keep winning championships. Man, how hard is the Big Ten, man? Indiana had to go through that gauntlet schedule there to get there, play 9 conference games, get there, dominate, undefeated all season long. All season long. Dominated. SEC had to play 8, Dale, because they're wusses. They have to cheat the system to get there. Look at that. Beautiful. SEC hasn't won a championship in over 4 years. I want to point that out.
Well, I did see a couple coaches in the SEC kind of moaning and groaning. It might have been analysts talking about, well, the thing is, there's more money in the Big Ten.
Which is wrong. There's more money NIL in the Big Ten.
Yes.
Let's be clear on that. But SEC gets more money per school. People don't believe me when I say this, but it is true. Alabama does not have a lot of big money boosters attached to it.
No.
LSU does. Florida does. And that, Florida's going. That's what's amazing, that Florida's not doing better.
Right.
So, South Carolina doesn't. Vanderbilt
Auburn
doesn't. Auburn. It's just, and I know people joke around about that, but it is an interesting thing that once everybody started getting paid, the SEC is not the dominant conference anymore. Because if you don't know, there was McDonald's bags full of money being handed around. Dale knows something about that. There in Texas. Or, how should I say, golden Corvettes of money being passed around. It gets awfully quiet around here when that gets brought up.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, Steve.
That's what. Who said that? The old ball coach said that at one point, didn't he? You ain't cheating, you ain't trying. It's an interesting thing that you have to deal with from that perspective of things. When we come back, I'll get you updated on the weekend around Arizona sports. College stuff out there. Then, of course, NBA as well. Yeah, it's amazing.
My Wildcats.
Bobby Hurley, stop crying. Big matchup tonight, folks. If you're not doing anything tonight, or if you're doing something, cancel your plans. You want to watch tonight's men's basketball. game up in Provo, Utah.
And a great response from ASU basketball. We'll get into that, too.
Yeah, come on back, folks. And then the Suns. Come on back. Second hour main event next. Good second hour, the main event. Having some fun here in the first hour. Getting all caught up over the weekend. Now we got to get serious here. I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and you know him as 17-year NFL veteran. I often wonder, I was watching those games yesterday, I was like, does all the memories come flooding back to Dale of being in the locker room when he sees the players going in there and stuff like that? Or have you been away from it long enough that you're just like, yeah, whatever?
Sometimes a little bit of both. I was talking about it on Saturday on the golf course. Had the opportunity of playing 5 of them.
But is that people asking you,
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
you're not just sitting there going, I've played in this game.
Yeah. No, it's not a conversation starter for me.
And some guys like, whatever, old man.
But I got to play in 5 of them, so obviously if you do the math, that means I would play in 3 that we won and 2 that we lost.
Yep.
Lost 1 in Buffalo, lost 1 in Dallas.
In the third year.
Yes.
2 Super Bowls, third year, and then you won it the fourth year.
Yeah, when we were going for that three-peat that still to this day has never been done.
Yes.
So...
yeah, I was thinking about you yesterday going, man, I just wonder if, like, you're watching it and they're watching all the players come in. You're like, I remember that. All the I remember being out there. The feelings I felt out there.
The Tordell shots. The
Percocet. How bad my body hurt.
The Darvocet.
I saw a picture of you at long snap because I was doing some research for some stuff. And, man, you snapped the ball, like, way out in front of you. Nowadays, long snappers pretty much have it fairly close to underneath their helmet. Like, you were way out there.
Was I?
Yeah.
I don't even
Maybe it was just the one picture I saw. Yeah. Like, you were, like, full arms stretched out.
Well, I like to do that so you can see my triceps.
Well, that you saw. Well, it also could have been a shot where you were lining the ball up. You were grabbing the ball or whatever, so you were farther out. And then because centers move the ball around, even though they're not supposed to.
As long as you don't do it in a herky-jerky motion.
So, I was thinking about that yesterday. Just go, man, it's got to be the... Because also the question was asked to me was, like the players, like you got eliminated the week before. Most of those players, I believe, don't watch the games this weekend because it's too close to them. They just got done playing. They want to get away from the game. They just lost to that team, and they're like, argh. Like if you finish your season at the end of December, you didn't make the playoffs or whatever, are you generally watching those games yesterday? Or you're into your off-season stuff? And
no, I think that probably if I had to guess, I'd say more watch it than don't.
Really?
But they're usually on, watching it from Hawaii or Cabo
on vacation,
or vacation somewhere.
Well, because people always go, oh man, did you listen to that show? Like, I don't. Once we get off air, it's like, I don't. I listen to some of it occasionally, but I don't go, oh, I got to listen to this show. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because like a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot with what you do.
And they're not
and
as
stuff,
good
so.
as we are, so.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah.
That's issue number 2. Before we get into the college football or basketball stuff, let's get the Suns out of the way. First of all, let's have a little fun here. Dale, do you know how big centers are in the NBA? Like, they're tall,
Right.
they're strong, and they're dominant, right? Like they're beasts.
Uh-huh.
You don't really think so as you go. This was interesting yesterday. Lou Dort's going up for a block yesterday and goes for a little ride here. Here it is. A shoulder is the one I'm looking for here, Kobe. This just fascinates me because this is a large man landing on top of another large man, and look what happens.
Lou Dort is not a small guy.
I used to do that with my, big brother when I was little. He would be very gentle with me like that and say, "Get off my shoulders."
He's holding him like it's nothing.
And I would bet that if you look at Lou Dort's, he's probably about 6'6", 230-ish.
You think he's only 220? Oh, you think he's only that?
Yeah, because those centers, when you talk about those centers, because it's always amazed me, they can be 6'10" and 250.
6'4", 220 is what they say.
Yeah, so 220. Come on, you can carry that around like a fireman.
I do all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, when you were that age.
Even today, man. I don't leave the house unless I got my 220 weights over.
I think Lou Dort owes that whoever that player was dinner and sent him some.
He's just like, whatever. If that happened to you, you'd be like, my shoulder.
Oh, yeah, today? Absolutely.
Anybody. Like, golly. I found that a little funny yesterday. That just
because that player could have also just backed away from him and see him go head over tea
Watch
kettle.
him fall down. You gotta protect him. So I got a little fun out of that yesterday as well. But update on the Booker injury. We were seeing some reports over the weekend, early part of the weekend, 6 to 8 weeks out. Yeah. And it was like, what? And then, then he goes to the G League game yesterday, where Malowich and Fleming were playing in yesterday at 2 p.m. over there at the Mullet. And he was there. No walking boot and regular shoes. Doesn't mean it wasn't heavily wrapped and things of that stuff. And then the Suns announced that he's going to be reevaluated in 1 week. Man, when he went down, it looked like, that thing is.
So he was just running
damage.
down the court, looking backwards, and ran into somebody and stepped on it.
Yeah, stepped on a dude's foot. And twisted it. But the problem is it's the same ankle as he just got done twisting. So second injury obviously is a big deal. Nothing you have to worry about and stuff to that effect. But so 1 week reevaluation, Green with his hamstring. I mean, it didn't look bad, but you could tell he pulled up going to the basket and things like that with his explosiveness. Well, they say no additional damage there, so he's officially day-to-day. Keep him out.
What does that mean?
Keep him out.
But you kept him out.
I know. Keep him out longer. Stretch, man.
He played and he had 3 nights off.
Booker twisting his ankles is a completely different deal.
Yes.
No amount of training staff is going to protect that from happening.
Right.
At all. Don't we have to start questioning the training staff here on why? I get it. Hamstrings go all the time, but what are you doing differently to keep that hamstring out? That hamstring's been healthy his whole career until this year.
Yes.
So what's happening? What's not being done with it? Are you working it too? It could be possible you're working it and rehabbing it too much to come back. Like, what's going on here? Something's really concerning about this when it's the third time now. And the nice thing is Green is very, he's in tune with his body. He knew instantly on that drive and pulled up. Probably stopped the extra damage that was happening.
Right.
But he's officially day-to-day as well. With them out, I mean, there's no doubt about it. You need Dillon Brooks to step up again. And he's not. And I'm not bashing Dillon Brooks at all. He's having a career year for him. But he needs to start. Well, one, he's sucking at 3-point. Stop shooting 3-pointers for a while. Like, let's get your game back here. But you need him to get back to early season form. Dillon Brooks coming up as well. They lose to the Hawks on the weekend. I told you, just survive that game. They weren't able to survive with the injuries. Then last night, the Heat's just a bad matchup for him, man. Just the Heat. Ew. On top of those guys, those two guys being out, I'm just going to say the Heat pulled away there at the end.
Yes.
But every time the Suns made a run, the Heat pulled back away again, and it just kept happening that way as well. So, what state are we in here with the Suns, Dale?
Boy, without both those guys, Green and Booker, when Green was out earlier, they had Booker.
Yep.
Now where's your scoring going to come from? Because you're right. I mean, I think the reason that Dylan Brooks was out to such a good start was because ton of focus on Devin Booker.
Yes.
Well, guess what? Now, we're going to really double team Colin Gillespie?
Yeah.
I mean, he was 4-12 last night.
Yeah.
Hey, if Colin Gillespie beats us, fine. But again, without both those guys,
yeah, I think we're
somehow tread water and keep your fingers crossed.
Well, here's the good news. You have the Nets tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Look, Nets are beatable even without Booker and Green, right? You just got to go out and play. The problem is you got Pistons and Cavaliers after that. I'm going to predict Booker will not be back, even though that goes over the week. Devin Booker's not going to be back for either of those two games coming up here. Then you got Clippers, Trailblazers, Warriors, 76ers. So, like you said, I mean, even with a healthy team, Pistons and Cavaliers are going to be a tough matchup.
Mm-hmm.
So it's possible you're going to go 1-2 in this stretch without them anyway. So keep them out. Let them get injured. Just don't get anybody else injured while everybody else is working on the game. But that's the way I was looking at it last night was you might go 1-2 even if those guys were both healthy.
Well, and again, we're sitting here talking about the Nets, and they're not very good, and
it's going to be a tough out without those two,
and that should be a win for them. But you look at the Nets, and I'm looking at the Eastern Conference standings, and where are they?
Keep going down. Keep going.
Oh,
down.
there they are.
Keep going down.
Yeah, 12 and 32.
Yeah.
Yeah,
not the worst team, but they're getting.
They are. They're pretty close to the worst team in the East.
They're pushing it. Yeah, that's the only. That's the thing. That's the way I look at it. Is like it just seems like when big injuries happen, it's happening, and it's weird to say at the right time. But again, Pistons, Cavaliers are just going to be tough games for you anyway.
Right.
Now it sucks they're both at home because home fans are going to have to put up with not seeing them play in that time frame. But
right.
So I don't know. That's the way I'm looking at it. That's the positivity I'm getting out of that is, it's Nets and Pistons and Cavaliers. Let's go. Let's see what can happen as we go forward. But so Suns, they got to stay healthy, man. Hey, please, for the love of God, get healthy. Tape those ankles, Booker. Tape them good so they don't twist as you go forward by any stretch of that imagination, So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this goes.
I'm trying to find, because I thought that, so Jalen Green, from 2022 to 23, played 76 games. 23-24 played 82 games. 24-25 played 82 games.
Yep.
25-26, he's played 4.
Has he made it to 4?
4 out of
with the 2 half games.
Yeah, I mean, with
both
the
first quarters is when he went out.
I mean, 4 minutes the other night.
Yeah, I guess that counts as a game. He started. He got in there.
Hurts his averages.
But that's what it's like the Diamondbacks. They go and get Corbin Burns, who's like just a workhorse, never misses games.
Yes,
no injuries, and then boom, Tommy John. Like, what happens when you get here?
What is it about Phoenix, Steve? What's in the water?
We don't even have a big electrical field by our stadium. We don't even have that excuse, Dale.
I wonder who's going to practice at the 49ers facility.
I actually have that.
That's
neither team is practicing.
Say, do you turn that down?
Yeah, we'll talk about that coming up. We get to NFL because I do have the answer to that. Of course, with a bunch of interesting stats out there. But over the weekend, ASU men's, you said it correctly earlier. What a rebound game here for a team where the coach looked like he was basically quitting the game before.
Yep.
They go out there and they win big against Cincinnati. Scored the most points against Cincinnati all season long. That was the most Cincinnati had given up. 82-68 victory there for Arizona State. They're all on point. Now, here's my question for you. Because when I was talking to Coop, and Coop, I'm going to follow up with him today. He said he's healthy, ready to go, but I'll follow up with him today. He's supposed to join us tomorrow, like usual. But he said to me last week, if you're a player, how do you play for a guy that does that in a post-game deal? Well, they rebounded yesterday. Is that on the players taking personal pride? Or I know some players go, you know what, we let coach down. We need to step up a little bit for a one-game blip. Which one do you tend to fall on with what happened with that? Because it was a shocking rebound. I'm not going to lie to you. I was shocked at how well they played against Cincinnati.
Well, that's what's fascinating to me. It's obviously you could go one way or the other. Your players could say, "Screw you, I'm not listening."
Yes.
Or you could go, you know what? There's still half a season left. I don't want to be miserable like this. Let's figure it out. And
Cincinnati's a tough out.
And this Mo Odom, I love what he said.
Yeah,
he's quoted as saying, "We had a meeting actually about what Bobby Hurley said. He wasn't wrong." Wow. 20-year-old kid saying he wasn't wrong. We weren't deliberately ignoring him. When the coach draws something up and we don't run it right after, that's considered not listening. So he was right. We were not listening. We were not running out of bounds plays correctly, and he got on us for that. He came out and said we don't listen, which is true. We came back and we had a meeting. The staff, the players, we just said we got to change it. It's that simple. You can't ask for a better response.
No, absolutely.
From a team after that. Because I like you, was like.
I'm shocked at how they responded.
Oh, it's like Bobby Hurley just threw in the towel. Evidently, the crowd was pretty good yesterday, too.
So I saw the video on it. Yeah, I mean, the crowd was cheering him on and stuff. They were loud. It wasn't the morgue it usually is.
Yeah.
So they were loud and cheering, but it was still just bottom level full. I saw somebody did a pan around video. And the crowd was into it, which they usually aren't. Now, keep in mind also, this was a Saturday game.
Yeah.
Not a Wednesday night game.
That's true.
There's a big difference.
That is true.
There's a big difference between those 2 days, folks.
Yeah, but Saturday in Tempe, aren't you getting ready to go out at night?
Yeah, but that was an early enough game, wasn't it? It wasn't noon. That was the Arizona game. When was it? It was early, and it wasn't a late game.
So you had time to go home and
you had time to
freshen it up a little bit.
No, you just went to the game and then went out. Rolled right out of there. So there's a difference between those two. But I mean, then you go to UCF now tomorrow night at 5 p.m. and then you got Arizona coming to town.
Well, I also love the quote from Bobby Hurley. He says, "I'm not like a total idiot. I'm probably a partial idiot."
One thing I didn't like what Bobby Hurley said, I didn't really address it on that 2 nights, that last game after West Virginia, which he was blaming the schedule. I mean, the schedule makers at BYU, Arizona here, or down in Arizona, then at Houston. He goes, that's just too tough of a schedule for me.
Like a Final Four schedule.
Yeah, and I'm just like, dude, what? Everybody's got to play good people at some point during the season. Now they have a lull, well, except for Arizona. But this is the point. They're not beating. West Virginia's a team that they could have beaten, and they didn't. And then that was the game where Bobby Hurley looked defeated and stuff like that. Then they go out and they beat Cincinnati. They're on par with Cincinnati in terms of talent and stuff. You can beat Cincinnati, or you can lose depending how you play. You're not going to be in the ballpark with Arizona. Generally, you were down in Tucson, but make no mistake about it. Tucson, Arizona is going to wake up. They're going to come up here on this one after just barely beating Arizona last time. That's going to be a hard game to do, right? But then you're at Utah. That's a winnable game. At Colorado, winnable game. Oklahoma State's here, winnable game. 12 Texas Tech. I would just put that as a not winnable game. Baylor, TCU, and then Utah again. If they need to beat the teams that are not the best in the conference, and they can compete with those guys. But losing to West Virginia is a terrible thing. That's the inconsistency side of stuff. So I don't know.Maybe they turned the corner now, or maybe that was just a one-game give. We'll find out, though, when they have to go to UCF here for tomorrow night.
Well, and the thing is, you look at it, it's a little bit like the Suns early in this basketball season. Beat the teams that you're as good as, or they're not as good as you.
Yeah, you're gonna lose to. There's no shame in losing to Houston, Arizona, Texas Tech.
Right.
Forgetting the other really.
Well, BYU's pretty good.
Oh yeah, BYU. There's no shame losing to BYU, and stuff to that effect. But yeah, but there can be shame losing to West Virginia. Just the overreaction. I think that's where you got that overreaction. Is even Bobby Hurley's like, we needed that West Virginia game. Arizona State women's team. I just want to say I was shocked at the return the way these players played coming back. Now, can they sustain? It's the
Right.
question, right? Moving forward. Or we going to have that up and down. ASU women's went to Cincinnati over the weekend. Ended up losing 66-64 in that battle. That was yesterday. Yeah, that was a fun ending to that game. Then your Arizona Wildcats. Before we get to this, because we got to talk about tonight as well, GCU. They're actually doing really, really well here in the Mountain West. I think up there. They beat Fresno State by a lot, 68-57. It's kind of a dominating effort there by Grand Canyon in that game. But Grand Canyon's fourth place in that Mountain West right now. 6-2 conference record, 13-6 overall. They're behind San Diego State, Utah State, who they beat recently, and New Mexico right now as well. Nevada's right behind them at 6-3, and UNLV's 5-3. Everybody else has a losing record. So Grand Canyon's staying strong. Now, you're only going to get one, maybe two teams from that conference in. So, that is the downside from that side of things. And then you got Arizona over the weekend, of course. West Virginia, it was nice of you to go down to Tucson and play. I hope you enjoyed your time in the warm weather because that was a slaughter. Man, that was bad. And the thing I loved the most about that was a lot of complaining from U of A people on how bad the officials were as they were blowing them out.
Right.
Settle down, folks.
Yeah,
But
that's conduct unbecoming.
yeah, it was a lot of Twitter stuff of they had that game on. It started at noon. And there's a lot of people complaining about the refs, and Tommy Lloyd complained about the refs, and I was just like, dude, you were dominating that. Settle down, Tigers. But tonight's the game you don't want to miss. Tonight, 7 p.m. Our time here. Arizona Wildcats go all the way up to 13th ranked BYU Cougars tonight. Heavyweight battle here in the Big 12. This is what's interesting. Arizona's got BYU tonight. Then they come to Tempe for Arizona State on Saturday.
So who are you rooting for tonight if you're ASU?
Well, Arizona, because you want them to come in off of a big victory.
Yes.
And maybe come in a little lackadaisical.
Yes.
If they lose to BYU, they're going to come in angry.
Oh. I'm excited to see BYU play. The guy I keep forgetting his name.
AJ something. It's a long name.
Yeah. Much ballyhooed freshman there at BYU.
But he's not the only one. There's two or three other guys that can dominate for BYU. The BYU's got a lot of talent. This isn't Arizona, BYU being overranked coming into this game.
What's interesting about U of A, and I've heard people talk about over the weekend, the fact that this U of A team has a different feel about it. It has a tougher feel about it.
Well, yeah, they've done nothing but beat top-level teams this year. And in the past, they would lose to them. They'd win one, lose one, win one. And that's where they struggle when they get to the 16, then they'd lose to a good team, and they won't advance to the 8 or the 4, Final Four and stuff like that. This team, however, is just baked a little differently and put together their mental toughness.
Should be a fun game tonight.
And BYU is not an easy place to play tonight.
No.
As well. So 7 p.m. ESPN is where you can catch that game, folks. And I don't care what you're doing tonight. If you like college basketball, whatever, you want to watch this game. There's so much talent on this court tonight. It's going to be unbelievable to watch. Robert says, unbelievable that ASU lost to West Virginia when the Wildcats held them to 4 free throws. I know, that's the other thing. Not only that, they're still complaining about the rest calls. When West Virginia had 4 free throws.
How do you complain about the officials?
I don't know. Guess you're in Tucson, you got nothing else to complain about? Then Robert earlier says, sounds like the SEC is losing their grip on college football because of NIL leveling the paying field. That's kind of what I alluded to. And I love those tweets where they go, everybody started paying everybody. And SEC all of a sudden starts struggling, huh? Oh, interesting how that works out. Then he also says, I think that was Compton for the Patriots that made the Amazon comment. That always stuck with me. Yeah, it was one of their draft. It was a draft pick. It was in the draft process that he said it. In terms of that. Yeah, it's amazing how, like, we sit at home and go, that guy sucks as we're sticking Doritos in our face. That guy's terrible.
Hey, can you pass the ho-hos?
But they're really, really good. They're just not to the next. Like the difference between Tom Brady and Stidham that you saw yesterday. not as far of a difference as you think it is. But it's just enough, obviously, from an all-time great to somebody that's a perennial backup and stuff to that effect. That's a big gap. But in terms of if they just stood on the side, if they just stood on the field there and threw balls into buckets and things to that effect, go back and watch the old quarterback throwing stuff. Quarterbacks could all hit the same throws.
Mm-hmm.
It's the intangible stuff that kind of sets you apart from that perspective. When we come back here, don't forget, guys, hit us up, 623-252-6670, and then at TME Sports Show as well on X. Sorry about that, Robert. I was in the wrong account, so I didn't see your tweets earlier, but I do see them now. You can text us anytime that you're listening as well, folks. Come on back. Lots of NFL stuff.
Before you go, breaking news. Rivers
pulled out of the head coaching.
He pulled out of his head coaching job in Buffalo.
I used that term loosely with him. He doesn't pull out of anything. With 12 kids. Not going to Buffalo.
His name is Steve McCollum, at SMAC500.
He got it right for once. Come on back, folks. Main event. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm looking forward to this Arizona BYU game tonight. At 7 p.m. ESPN tonight. It's going to be so much fun out there. Until Dale gets back in here really quick. It was interesting over the weekend. I watched, like I said, a lot of that Rolex 24. Well, not a lot of it. I turn it on. It starts about 11:30, 11:40 our time. 24 hours straight of racing. And I never stay up for all 24 hours like a lot of people do. I go to bed and stuff like that. But then, like I said, the 6 hours, longest caution ever in that time frame. But it was an interesting thing. I thought it was kind of boring, but a Cadillac team finished second in that deal. When was the last time a Caddy won anything in racing? From that perspective. So, hey, we're getting closer to racing season. So don't forget the pit stop at the Pit Stop Talk is where you can follow for all the racing stuff. The pit stop's going to be coming out here in the next week or so. Here will be a first episode of 2026. So catch us here, obviously, Robat TV, the YouTube page, also a free podcast system for the pit stop as well. So get on board with that. Like and subscribe those for me and follow me on social media. Don't push that too much for that show, but we need to do that more, get some more people behind it, get it back out there as well. Hello, Dale.
Again. Hello, Steve. I can't believe I missed some of the talk about 24 hours of racing with a 6-hour delay.
No, it wasn't a delay. They still drove slowly under caution for 6 hours.
So that means you can't pass. Nobody gets an advantage.
Drive slow. Connor Zilic, he was he might be 20 now, but he was a 19-year-old rookie phenom last year in NASCAR. Raced in this for the team that finished second. And his whole 4-hour stint of driving, was during that 6-hour fog delay. So he's just out there going for a late-night stroll is what he was doing in the fog over there at Daytona. And then Robert says, you don't have to read my stupid comments on air, Most times I'm just shouting in the wind, as my wife likes to say. No, we read. You texted it. Unless I do have a few people that do text in that say, do not read my stuff on air. So we hit it up and we talk about it and don't say who texted it in and stuff like that. But I know we don't have to, but we're going to. We bring all that stuff to it. So whenever you're listening to us or liking us, right, whether it's the free podcast system at TME Sports Show, the YouTube page, or, of course, here at Real Bat TV on demand or whatnot, definitely hit us up, 623-252-6670. Dale, some interesting stats here over the weekend on the football game. We talked a little bit about it at the top of the show. I thought the first game was kind of boring. It was interesting because of the snow. You knew there wasn't going to be a ton of, I looked like a genius hitting that under 44.5 Tuesday or Wednesday of last week.
Wow.
I just sucks that I only put $5 on it. I'm stupid for that, right? The Broncos had an uphill battle. They were able to keep it close. Patriots just do what they do to win. I'll just put it that way. They're not an all-time great team. The interesting thing about that, though, is that's the way Tom Brady won also. They didn't have the best talent out there, the best superstars on those teams. That's what's intriguing to me about the Patriots. But then you go to that Rams Seahawks game. That's just two heavyweight battles going back and forth, man. Both quarterbacks looked good yesterday. Receivers, this is my complaint about Marvin Harrison Jr. Did you see, those balls are anywhere near any of those receivers? And they were going, not that they catch everything, but they were coming down with just unbelievable catches and big moments. Just put the ball up there. You do not see any of that on any of the receivers on the Cardinals. So we can just take Marvin Harrison Jr., not just spearheads him. No receiver on the Cardinals attacks the ball like these guys do.
That catch by Njigba Smith.
The one-handed one?
The one-handed one on the sideline. Just, again, can we trade Marvin Harrison to Seattle?
You got the wrong Ohio State receiver.
Yes.
It's just watching that second game. This is why you don't have a head coach, folks, and why you have to settle for a second-tier one. Nobody in their right mind is looking at the Cardinals going, I can do something in that division.
Right. Yes. Because you're looking, those two teams are the best teams in the NFC this year, most all the year. And then the 49ers, if they didn't have 250 games missed by Hall of Famers, they'd have been right there.
49ers are right behind them, but it's because of injuries that they're behind them. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It makes you more and more depressed. If you're
and still no.
Well, it's because they have to wait for people to be done coaching. Raheem Morris is now one. They've reportedly settled it to 3 guys, is what they're saying. Raheem Morris is one of those guys.
Okay.
I'm not a Raheem Morris fan. I made fun of Atlanta when they hired him. No doubt about it. Just not a fan of his. But if he can take us to 8-9 and on the cusp of playoff runs and stuff like that, that's an improvement, isn't it? For 2-3 years.
Yeah, but that was 8-9 with Tampa and New Orleans and Carolina.
Everybody's canceling their interviews with the Browns, which is it. I saw the Browns are making people do essays.
Oh, really?
And all this additional stuff. That's why Mike McDaniel was like, "That's right, I'll stick with the Chargers.
I'll be a defensive coordinator."
Yeah, and then if Rivers stopped with the Bills today as well. You're seeing some people kind of bow out of the Bills search. They're going to end up with Dable. Watch. The ball is going over there. Raiders, they've made it known that Clint Kubiak's their guy. Clint Kubiak wants to go to the Raiders as well, which makes me question Clint Kubiak's mindset. Do you want a guy that goes, I like the Raiders as a team? Because Raiders are in all sorts of disarray as well that they're looking at from that side. So of the remaining teams out there, Dale, how do the Cardinals rank? We got to be above the Raiders, right? What do the Raiders have that we don't? They don't have a quarterback. They don't have an offensive line. Their defense is in shatters. What's the difference?
Do they have salary cap room?
A little bit. Not $100 million like the Titans.
Right.
But Mark Davis going to spend the money on that?
Well, that's why he's bringing in all these investors.
I would say going to work for Tom Brady gives you a little bit of peace of mind because he's going to bring the right guy in there. So now it's down to Rams offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur, reportedly down to 3. Which, like I said, I get the concept of go get the guy that's really, really good. Go get the guy that runs his offense. Runs it. How many times yesterday when you were watching that Rams-Seahawks game did the camera go to Mike LaFleur? I think 0. I don't think I saw him once. You know who it goes to? Sean McVay calling the offense with his play sheet in front of him?
Yes.
Why is everybody so high on this?
Again, and I heard it talked about over the weekend. It's Eric Bieniemy curse. Now maybe he can
all
do
the
it.
Chiefs. It's not just Bieniemy with the Chiefs. Nagy was
but what I'm saying is Bieniemy trying to get that first job, trying to get that first head coaching job, and yet.
But everybody's failed that did that in Andy Reid's system.
I understand that, but Bieniemy never got a chance to fail.
Yeah, so much so that he got fired in Washington, and then he went someplace else to get out of that system to prove that now he's now. But then Matt Nagy gets fired by that. They don't really know him. It's like, oh my God, what's happening? Like, I get the idea of going and getting that guy. And then I'll also say this. You look at a Mike LaFleur going, well, your brother's doing success in Green Bay with less. So maybe that family, maybe there's something to look at from that side. I don't know. I'm not sold on that. Would I be upset? No. But I'm definitely not like everybody else out there going, that's the guy we need to get. I don't understand where Anthony Campanelli pops up over the weekend, and all of a sudden he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Jaguars defensive coordinator. Like what? Again, Cardinals are reportedly 3 finalists according to multiple people out there.
Right.
National people as well. 3 finalists are 3 guys nobody else wants as head coach.
Yeah, they're not in a whole lot of competition, right? It's not going to be
Raheem Morris is the 3rd one.
It's not going to be a bidding war.
At this point, I'm like, God, bring Raheem Morris in here for a couple years. It's going to be Mike LaFleur. Kind of glad to hear they're not they aren't interested in Vance Joseph anymore. I'm kind of glad.
How did that drop off?
I'm kind of glad that that dropped off. I don't know. It's either fan disagreements with that. You can't tell me that fans are clamoring for Mike LaFleur. If you're a Cardinals fan and you're clamoring for Mike LaFleur, you don't know what that guy does. Now I can understand if you don't know. You go, oh, but he's the Rams. Let's bring the Rams guy in here.
Right.
I can understand that maybe, but yeah.
Again, and we don't know how these guys interview, and do they have a presence? To me, does the guy have a presence? Obviously.
That's my point. You didn't see LaFleur at all on camera yesterday.
No, Raheem Morris does not strike me as somebody who has it.
Yeah, he's not. But Atlanta, now that's an easier division there in Atlanta. Yeah. But he got him to 8-9 when they were sucking. They didn't quit on him. Unlike Gannon, when the team quit on him and couldn't win more than 3 games. He did that 8-9 record most of the season with being out of the playoffs, by the way.
Right.
So I don't know. That's where it gets intriguing. So if you're excited about this, Cardinals fans, God bless you. You have to sell me on these 3. But I'll tell you this, if it's one of these 3, I mean, that Jacksonville DC makes 0 sense. Like, where'd that guy come from? Like, blew me away in the interview. Okay, well, that happens. Mike Tomlin got the job in Steelers land because he blew them away in his interview. So that does happen. But then you come out and tell me that he blew you away when you hire him.
Right.
And tell me how he blew you away. Because otherwise it's like, okay, whatever.
Well,
there's a lot more smarter here's the problem, Dale. There's a lot more smarter owners out there not looking at these guys. So doesn't that say something? Well, Michael Bidwell's not smarter than other people.
The thing that jumps out to me is it seems like the teams, every team takes a different approach. You know, Baltimore 18 years ago hired Harbaugh. He's still the only special teams coach ever hired to be a head coach. Mm-hmm. That's crazy in my mind.
Yes.
It's crazy in my mind.
You'd think they would have gone on a rush of special teams.
Oh, well, look at what Baltimore's become, or continue to be.
Copycat league.
Yeah. And so some of these teams go different directions, and it works out. But the Cardinals doesn't seem like any direction they go.
This is my argument here today. Is I presented to you that they're going after the guys that nobody else wants last week. Now I'm presenting to you also that the Cardinals are specifically 100% going after guys that nobody else wants. And you can't tell me, like I said, Steelers, Tomlin, that happens. John Harbaugh, nobody wanted John Harbaugh. He was hired in Ravens, and it worked out. Look at those teams. The Rooneys have always nailed their coaches' picks. Baltimore Ravens, they say what you want, but they've nailed Billick before him had a Super Bowl, right? And it was the right guy at that time. They've only had 3 coaches in Baltimore since they've been in Baltimore as well, for the Ravens franchise at least. They nail that stuff. Bidwill's never nail this stuff. And it's almost like they're like, we're going to go outside the box because it's always worked out for us before. They're not. That's where you get frustrated with this whole process. I told you, you're not getting Harbaugh. You're not getting McDermott as much as I'd love for him to be the guy. There's no interest in coming here, folks.
Do you think McDermott's taking a year off?
I don't think he wants to. But if you're McDermott and you have Raiders, Browns, or Cardinals, you're taking a year off because a better team is going to be available next year that you can go to. Just embarrassing. Robert says, all these people pushing for LaFleur and Campanelli as head coach all said that Gannon and Petzing were the second coming. That is a good point. I did not follow that thread of who's saying they want those two guys.
Right.
It's just underwhelming. It's just underwhelming that's coming our way here on the Cardinals. But that's your Cardinals head coach update as well. I just don't, just the whole fourth quarter. I feel like analytics, are hurting these teams. Because if the Broncos would have kicked that field goal instead of going for it on the fourth down early in the game, they would have been up by 10. That changes the game as that snow rolls in. Obviously, Patriots, came back and stuff to that effect, to make that a 10-7 ball game in their favor when the snow rolled in. We need to sit back and think about it. Kickers can now kick balls 60-plus yards with ease, and we're not giving them chip shots anymore.
Right.
That's a weird thing. I think that's a weird thing that we're seeing happening in the NFL right now. Hey, we need a kicker that can kick a 60-yarder, but we're not going to give him a 30-yarder to go up to score some points. You can win games. Field goals would have won you that game yesterday, and you still choose to go for it on fourth down. I get the analytics side of it. I don't understand.
In this day and age of the NFL, it's because when I saw that and I didn't know the weather was coming.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not going hour by hour with the Denver weather report, but I'm sure that the Broncos, somebody on their staff is keeping an eye on it.
Yeah, they knew.
At least had a feeling. And you got a rookie making his first start quarterback.
Well, he had one snap this year, and that was to take a knee at the end of the game. Yeah.
And you could go up 10-0 and keep momentum on your side. It's just crazy.
Hey, NFL franchises to reach the championship round in 5+ straight decades. Name those teams, Dale.
5+ straight decades.
5 straight decades, 5+.
Say the first part one more time.
Okay. NFL franchises, obviously. You have to reach the championship round in 5+ straight decades, meaning the Super Bowl.
Okay. I would say Steelers.
Nope.
The Patriots.
Yes, they're the only one. I'll stop you from guessing. 1980s to 2020. They made it in the 80s. They made it in the 90s, obviously. Made it to the 2000s. Made it to the 2010s. And now, 2020s. 5 straight decades. The only NHL franchise to make, which is essentially the Super Bowl. Yep, in 5 straight decades. No other team has done that. Every team has a 10, 12, 15-year lull in their history. They get good. In some cases, 30-year lulls, right, Dale?
I remember that 85 Patriot team that had to go play the Bears in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, with those ugly helmets.
Just put up for fodder, Craig James.
Pretty much. Just up for, pretty much. Hey, go out there and do your best, kids. Hope you have fun. Yeah, here's an interesting stat. This is an all-time winner. Kendall Baker gives us this one from Yahoo. 5 colleges. Well, Naval Academy, or academies, stuff like that. 5 schools have produced a U.S. president and a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Ooh.
Name them, Dale. You're not going to be able.
Michigan.
Well, Michigan's one of them.
Yeah.
Ford Brady, obviously. Yep.
Not obviously.
Obviously.
Don't make it sound like.
Obviously.
Oh,
You should be able to get the second. Maybe you should be able to get the second one.
Is there Texas?
No. All small schools and one academy. Academy?
No, Naval Academy?
Yeah, Navy Academy. Carter and Starbuck.
There's got to be an Ivy League school in there, but I'm trying to think of a quarterback.
No. Well, the Ivy League of the West.
Stanford?
Stanford. Yeah, Elway and Plunkett both won, so they get credit. But yeah, Hoover's the president.
Okay.
Dale's like, there's a president named Hoover?
That was a vacuum cleaner.
It gets even worse. Miami of Ohio is one of these teams. Harrison and Big Ben.
Okay.
And then my favorite is who's the guy that went to the quarterback that went to school here, then went to Harvard and had the big beard, has the big beard?
Yeah, he's on NFL Network right now.
Yes, I know. I can't think of his name right
No.
now. But he went to Harvard. He actually put out there and goes, "This is on me, Harvard," because he didn't win a Super Bowl. Delaware is the next one.
Flacco?
Flacco and Biden. Biden went to University of
Really?
Delaware.
Okay.
Yep. And now, interesting enough, why is that a stat right now? Drake May, if he wins the Super Bowl this year, which he's not, but if he wins the Super Bowl this year, he will be the 6th one. James K. Polk was the president that went to UNC, and then Drake May. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Isn't that a fascinating stat? Like, who keeps track of that garbage?
Yeah, and the only recent one really is Biden.
Yeah, well, that's what's fascinating. What are the odds that a quarterback? Because if you said Delaware and the quarterback was like from the 20s or 30s, I'd be like, all right, this is Joe Flacco, who's still playing in the league. He's retiring now, but
Right.
he's just in the league right now. That's a recent thing from that side. Yeah, Starbuck, of course. Plunkett, Elway. Even Elway's been out of the league for 30 years, 20-something years now as well. Ford Brady, of course, would be the next one. And then Big Ben. Whew. That's fascinating.
That is interesting.
I love that. I love
You
that.
did have some time on your hands this weekend.
Well, I got another one for you. Guys, if you're not a Seattle Seahawks fan, Dale, which I know a lot of us aren't here in the NFC West, but if you're not a Seattle Seahawks fan, hope for good health of the Pope. Let's hope that the Pope here lives forever. Because there is a stat out there that the last 3 times a new Pope was elected, the Seahawks have made the Super Bowl as the number 1 seed. We need to protect these popes at all costs to stop the Seahawks being a number 1 seed and making the Super Bowl more often. 2005, Pope Benedict, one of those numbers, he was elected there. Pope Francis in 2013, and then Pope Leo here in 2025. Yeah. If you want Seattle to stop going to the Super Bowl, protect the Pope at all costs.
Well, I got one for you.
How fascinating is that?
Yeah, that's crazy. You know USC has had 26 quarterbacks drafted?
This stat drives me nuts.
26 quarterbacks
I did not
drafted.
believe this, so I actually was like, there's got to be somebody. Rodney Peete, right? Had to be one
He
of
was
them.
on one of our teams and went to the Super Bowl, but he didn't start.
He didn't play in it.
No. But Sam Darnold will be the first one to start.
To start a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold's been to 2 Super Bowls now. He'll be at 2. He was on the Niners when they went to the Super Bowl with Jimmy G. But to start a Super Bowl. How have, with all the great quarterbacks that rolled through SC over the years, none of them have started a Super Bowl?
Crazy.
They're like Ohio State running backs. Just underperform when they get to that point there. As I said, here's you talk about quarterbacks, draft position, right? Cardinals need a quarterback. Are they going to be able to get up a draft? Mendoza going number 1 to the Raiders. All of that stuff out there. And, let's go back to the 2018 draft class. You got Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, Sam Darnold. All high-level draft picks coming out of college. Lamar kind of dropped a little bit. He was 32 second pick, but obviously Baker was 1. Josh Allen was 7. Sam Darnold was 3. And he's the only one that's made the Super Bowl.
Right.
What is happening in the world? Now, Sam Darnold was a number 3 pick. It's not like he was the 3rd round, 7th round, or
Right.
anything to that effect. But if I told you 2 years ago, Sam Darnold's going to be the one that go the most Super Bowls out of the draft, you call me nuts. You'd be like, oh no, Lamar and Josh are going to get there, way before he does. And that's not the case. So in terms of the practice stuff, like we talked about earlier, nobody's practicing at the 49ers practice field.
Interesting.
If you don't know, there's a lot of hubbub because there's a electrical field station next to it. And they're saying that's what's leading to a lot of the injuries. I was reading that there are agents that players will not even look at the Niners as free agents just because that's
Really? Okay.
I don't know if there's something to it. I tend to not want to live around that type of stuff. We're really close to that stuff. I'd like there to be some distance to dissipate the whatever through the air. Like, I don't even like the fact that my car has internet in it because I'm like, this is just radiating through my body as I'm driving. Hello, cancer. Hello, cancer, my old friend.
Wow.
The Patriots will be practicing at Stanford. The Seahawks will be practicing at San Jose State. So no team will be practicing at the 49ers facility.
Well, two ways to look at that. Obviously, it could be the electrical thing that people just said, hey. Because, like, when we played out here in the Super Bowl, we were the ones that practiced at Cardinals facility.
Yes.
And we stayed at the Buttes.
Yes.
And I think that Pittsburgh practiced at Scottsdale Community College. They stayed in one of those hotels right there on Scottsdale Road.
Yes.
When we were in Los Angeles at the Rose Bowl, we practiced at UCLA. And then when we were in Atlanta, we practiced at the Atlanta practice facility because of the NFC team.
Okay.
Now, the one thing about it is Santa Clara, in San Francisco, it's
a
probably a
2-hour drive.
45-minute drive.
It's an hour to hour and a half, depending on traffic.
Yeah, because I'm sure they're all staying in San Francisco proper.
Well, even Stanford's not in San Francisco. It's in Palo Alto, which is outside of that there. San Jose, obviously, is about 2 hours south of San Francisco proper on that stuff. So San Francisco 49ers practice facility itself, that's in Santa Clara, where the stadium is. It's about 11 to 12 miles away from San Jose State University's football field where they're going to practice in San Jose.
Okay.
So they're not too far away, but how far is Palo Alto is the question, because that's south of San Francisco as well. Let me look that up here. Point is, the San Francisco's practice facility is really close to the stadium. Let's see here. So 13 to 14 miles from the practice facility to Palo Alto area where Stanford's at from that. So they're staying about the same distance apart,
Right.
from that side. So they're staying 12 to 13 miles away from the stadium as well, Santa Clara. It's just weird. Normally you practice, one of the teams practice. Usually it's the team. If it's an NFC team, NFC team practices there, etc.
Right.
Because they cover up a lot of stuff. I've read that. When you guys were at the Cardinal Stadium, the stuff that they cover up and don't allow access to.
Oh, yeah. You weren't allowed in certain rooms.
The Niners are they're afraid you're going to try to steal from the Cardinals.
Yeah, it's like, really? We're gonna take whatever you guys are doing?
And so it's fascinating with all that electrical talk that they're like, nope, we're not practicing in your facility coming up as well. I read a big old story at the end of last week where an agent was like, I have players that have said, don't even look at that. I don't want anything to do with that. Don't want anywhere near that. There you go. Devontae Adams is 0-5 in conference championship games officially.
Really?
Now.
I did not know that.
Green Bay and now with the Rams as well. That's got to be tough, man. Just right there on the edge. I mean, you lost 2 of them. Was that worse? Oh, you never lost. I was going to say, is that worse than a Super Bowl loss? But you never lost a Super Bowl.
No.
I know. Here he goes. You see that big smile on his face there, folks?
Well, I tell you this, the Buffalo one, obviously, we rose from the ashes.
Yeah.
And,
that was a surprise year, too.
You know,
right?
and it's like all of a sudden we're 12-4. We're the number 2 seed. We have to go to Cincinnati to play. It was one of those days like Denver had yesterday. Not all the snow, but it was -15 wind chill factor.
That's it?
And It was a one-score game. We had to punt the ball to them. They got the ball on about the 6-yard line with about 9 minutes left in the game. They went on a 9-minute drive. Would gain 3 yards, 3 yards.
Was that
yards.
Boomer?
Yeah.
That was Boomer.
3 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards. Clock keeps ticking. 3 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards.
That was the Super Bowl where the dude broke his leg, right? Against
Tim
the Niners.
Tim Crumry. I've seen him since. He broke his leg in the Super Bowl, and I had to play against him most of that game. So why don't you break your leg in our game?
Stuck it out to kind of like trip him, and he ran him over.
But
but there was that year where they got destroyed by the.
No, they didn't get.
Oh, was that a close game?
Oh yeah, it was.
That was a close.
I think it was a John Taylor.
last
second touchdown. But
dude, that was 40 years ago, man. I don't remember.
I was standing on the sidelines just watching this. Literally a 9-minute drive. They didn't score. They ended up with the ball like on the 5-yard line. And walk off the field. It's like, I'll never have a chance again to go to a Super Bowl. At least in Dallas, we'd been to the previous two. And then,
the interesting thing about that is because I was thinking about Dan Marino yesterday. Sam Darnold's under 23 years old, or he's close to 23, but he's the second youngest quarterback to play in a Super Bowl. Number one is Dan Marino.
Really?
He beats him by days.
Really? Okay.
23. It's like 23 days and 100, or 23-year-old and like 100 and something days or something like that. Is what he's doing. So yeah, Dan Marino was number one. I'm like, yeah, that's right, because Dan Marino left Pitt, went to Miami, and instantly into the Super Bowl that year. And he famously goes, "Yeah, I expected to go to like 20 more of those."
Oh yeah,
and he never sniffed it again.
And it's not like he only played 3 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Not like a catastrophic injury took him out. He played 18 years.
Yeah. So I was thinking about Dan Marino yesterday. It's like, oh, man, that's right. The way he talks about that rookie year, getting to the playoffs, getting to that Super Bowl.
Oh,
I'll be back.
Everything comes so easy. Well, I've told you before, but just to reiterate to everybody out there that's watching and listening, Darren Woodson, love him to death, Arizona State guy, went to Maryville High School.
Yep.
Gets drafted by the Cowboys in 92.
The Hall of Famer, too, right?
Not yet.
Oh, not yet.
He's a semifinalist or finalist this year again.
Should be.
But his rookie year, wins a Super Bowl. Second year, wins a Super Bowl. Third year, goes to that NFC Championship game. Fourth year, wins a Super Bowl. I think we won a playoff game the following year, and then the rest of his career, never won a playoff game.
Yeah.
So you think it's just going to keep going.
What did he end up at? Green Bay, right?
No, I think he retired as a Cowboy.
Did he retire as a Cowboy?
Yeah.
I was trying to remember if he went to Green Bay.
I think he retired as a Cowboy.
But yeah, I know, and that it comes and it goes, right? Hey, and then it just goes to the ownership side. I want to kind of leave it at this. We talked about, obviously, Cardinals coaching situation and all of that stuff. And then Jerry Jones famously, a week or two ago said, "I got to get to a few more Super Bowls to catch Kraft. I want to retire." Well, he ain't doing it, even if the Krafts lose this coming up here. But Robert Kraft's owned the Patriots for 32 years, folks. The team has won. Obviously, these are league leading because nobody else has done it. 11 conference championships, but he's done it with 3 different coach and quarterback combinations as well in terms of that. 11 conference championships, different coaches, quarterback combinations in 32 years. There's 4 NFL teams that have never even made it to a Super Bowl. And he just gets there and wins and rebuilt the team, and to get to that side. Ownership matters is what I'm getting at.
Yes, it does.
And if there's not a bigger proof of that, I think a lot of people know that Michael Bidwell's a problem here. But it just keeps proving that point. Look at the Rooneys, right? If you want to go through this, I found this article here earlier today as I was trying to find this info, right? Patriots, 11 appearances. We already went that 6-5 record. So it doesn't mean you win them all, but getting there 11 times in 32 years is an amazing feat.
Almost 33% of the time you're playing in Super Bowl.
Yeah, and even if you lose them, right?
Yeah.
6-5. Is any Patriot fan upset that they're 6-5 in the Super Bowls? I've never heard one.
I'm sure somebody would be, but come on.
But they talk about being the greatest franchise of all time and that stuff. You don't really hear them bemoaning the 5, right? Steelers are obviously next there with 8 appearances, famously 6-2 record. They lost them more recently, but they lost them in 95 and 2010. but they won it obviously 4 in the 70s and stuff to that effect. Then you've got, Dallas Cowboys, 8 appearances total. You guys have 3 of them, Dale.
Yep.
5-3 record for you there as well. They lost a lot of 70s stuff is when they lost. 70, 75, 78.
And what was different back then than nowadays, Steve? What's the thing that jumps out to you other than leather helmets and
what do you mean? What in terms of the
league?
They didn't pass the ball a ton?
No. There was no free agency.
Oh, no free agency.
Therefore, the Pittsburgh Steelers could stay together the whole 70s.
Yeah, the Cowboys in the 70s.
Yeah, 70s.
But the Cowboys lost it in 70, 75, and 78. So they were dominant.
Well, that's because they had to play Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say.
Yeah.
They had to play the other dominant team out there and couldn't get over the hump.
But there's no free agent. That's why I always said, in my mind, Bill Belichick is the greatest coach of all time because he did it in the free agent era.
Because guys can leave.
Yeah.
And, to me, Bill Belichick's that because he didn't, other than Randy Moss, tell me another big name free agent he brought in.
Yeah.
It was all draft
and they
picks.
didn't. And by the way, they did not win the Super Bowl in Randy Moss.
Yeah, right. That's why that's my Bill Belichick to me is they didn't go out and get that big name guy. San Francisco has 8 as well. They're 5-3 for them. Again, same thing. Dominated in the 80s. I'm not going to say dominated in the 90s, but they were pretty dang good. But they had to get past a Cowboys team, right? As well. They only won it in 94 in the 90s there for them. But here's my point. What's the other thing that sets these things apart? Good ownership.
Yeah.
Even before Jimmy Johnson owned the Cowboys, good ownership. 70s got them to those wins. Then Jimmy Johnson buys them in the 90s and they go. Jerry Jones, excuse me. And then Robert Kraft buys the team. Dominant on that side. 49ers have had different owners, but they've all committed to winning. They've all committed to put the right team on the field. Yes, they've struggled at times and stuff like that. Ownership matters. Kansas City Chiefs have 7 now. These are all in the last 7 years, right? 4-3 record for them. Now, they did make it, back in 66 and 69, but otherwise they've been pretty bad up until this little tear that they did here. The Hunt family's owned them the whole time. So there's some, but, again, Hunts aren't considered great ownership until just this recent trend that they've been on. And even then there's question marks, right? Then you get down to the teams that, Giants are considered great ownership. They've only made it 5 times, all 86 and after. 4-1 record for them. Green Bay Packers, I take away the 60s. There are 2 wins there. They got 96, 2010, 1997. They made it. They lost that 97 year. 5 appearances, 4-1 record. But they struggle at times, but they get a new owner. They redo their general managers and stuff like that from there. The Broncos, until Pat Bowlen got there, weren't doing anything either. 8 appearance records for them. 3-5 record with Pat Bowlen, and then of course now with their Walmart ownership group from that side of things. So my point here is even the Raiders, 67, 76, 80, 83, 2002. Their owner was a little nuts. And the owner was a little crazy.
Yeah.
But he just wanted to win, put the money into it and stuff to that effect to put winning teams out there as well. And then the Commanders, when it was Jack Kent Cooke and his family owning them, obviously had dominating appearances, 5 appearances for them. My point here is this. Then you get down into like the Rams. I've always struggled with ownership. Georgia Frontiers, her husband dies, she takes over. They're terrible. Now they're with Kroenke. Now in the 70s, they had some success in the early 70s. That was when her husband was running the team. And then, of course, recently with Sean McVay with Kroenke as the owner there. Just ownership matters here. Dolphins, same thing. 70s, 80s, dominant. Struggled since Stephen Ross's bottom. Eagles, good owner in Laurie. You can question some of his hiring stuff, right? Colts, always a questionable ownership, but they have managed to win some, get to the Super Bowl a couple times with Peyton and those guys. Ravens, good ownership. 2000, 2012 Super Bowls there. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Say what you want about the Buccaneers, folks. That family can win. They own some, soccer teams overseas and stuff as well. They can win as well. Ownership matters is my point. Here are the teams, Seattle Seahawks. Ownership. Now it's not Paul Allen anymore. It's his sister. But they've won with them there as well. Chicago Bears, only 2 appearances. Their ownership's been suspect. New Orleans Saints, their ownership's been suspect. Now, they had some good years, but they only had the 1 appearance and 1 win. Jets, suspect ownership, 1 appearance for them as well, right? And that was 68, I think, is when they won it. Bills have had some questionable ownership over the years. 4 times they went, of course, in the 90s. A lot of disappointment after that. Right. Vikings, questionable ownership. Other than the 60s and 70s when they had that dominating defense, have struggled ever since.
They
Bengals
also lost 4, yeah.
Yeah, Bengals, questionable ownership. Atlanta Falcons, questionable ownership with Arthur Blank not getting out of the way of stuff, even though they have gotten there 2016 with him as the owner. Panthers, questionable ownership. Chargers, questionable ownership. Titans, questionable ownership.
Okay, we get the point.
And you don't make the Super Bowl. You make it once in your career.
Or you can look at it this way, Steve.
Questionable ownership.
And J.J. Watt tweeted this out last night.
Cleveland, Detroit, Houston, Jacksonville.
Very, very interesting.
Cardinals.
You know, we talk about this win now mentality. Like sometimes you don't even, you get a year. Not even that second off season.
Yes.
Second year.
Yeah.
Mike Vrabel.
Yeah.
First season goes from 4 wins to however many he's got now.
14. I think it's 14 right now with the playoffs.
Mike McDonald is in his second year in Seattle, and they're playing in a Super Bowl.
And they were turning it around last year. They improved last year.
That was his first year.
Yeah.
Curt Cignetti in his second year at Indiana went to at Indiana.
Yeah, second year. Yeah.
That would be akin to some of those franchises you were saying. All of a sudden, the second year of a head coach, they're going to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Or winning the Super Bowl.
Yep. And he didn't do it by going and buying high-priced players.
And so now a whole lot of owners and athletic directors look around and say, hey, and we heard Michael Bidwell say that. Mm-hmm. You can turn it around so quick.
Yep.
Why not here?
Which is also derelict when they hired Jonathan Gannon, they said we have a 3-year turnaround plan. This is all part of the whole scheme here. If you're the owner of the Cardinals right now today, and he said it in his press conference when Jonathan Gannon was let go, part of the reason is I looked around and there's people that just hired some people that are playing this weekend in the playoffs, and we're not.
Yes.
After all this time. What are you doing to rectify that? Nothing. Now, Seattle, when they hired him, it wasn't McDonald. Like, oh my God. It wasn't like, oh my God, they got the best
he was
guy
a late
ever.
hire.
It wasn't like McVay when they hired him in L.A. where you're like, oh, my God, that guy's unbelievable. You can't miss him.
Right.
Now, they did stuff as coordinators, but you weren't jumping out of the deal. The only one I think where you were like, oh, nobody thought Vrabel would be able to do this.
No.
You know.
Playoff team, maybe.
Yeah, but nobody thought it'd be at this point. But that just goes to the point here. When you look at this with the Super Bowl appearances, it's very obvious. It's very obvious what sets apart some teams from other teams, and it's ownership.
You know, it's really interesting. Another thing here, the 2018 NFL quarterback draft. Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold,
Lamar Jackson,
Josh Allen, your boy Tim Rosen. No,
Josh Rosen.
Josh Rosen, who you were screaming for.
No, I wasn't.
You were so happy when they got him. And then Jackson went last pick in the
I did
first
not
round.
like Josh Rosen. He was from my school, UCLA. I couldn't stand him with his attitude.
And Sam Darnold is the first one of the bunch.
Yeah.
He's gone from, I'm seeing ghosts out there.
He's on his 5th team, Dale.
I've never heard a quarterback say I'm seeing ghosts.
Well, you've never heard him say it on the microphone.
Brooke actually said, what does that even mean? I said, he's seeing guys that aren't even out there, cover guys.
Yeah. He thought a guy wide open had 2 guys on him.
Yeah.
He's 28 years old, and he's on his 5th team.
Congratulations.
Here's the thing that I was thinking about last night, because you guys know my love for Minnesota. Forget about all the other stuff going on. We're just talking sports. Oh, my God. They gave up on Sam Darnold last year.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
That couldn't have happened to a better franchise than fan base. Enjoy that from that perspective coming up. But, folks, it just goes to the whole ownership side of the conversation. You don't win very often with bad owners. Say what you want about the Hunts in Kansas City. They're not the best owners, but they were smart enough to go get Andy Reid and get out of the way. And It's fascinating to watch that. And then Robert says, don't think many teams have won Super Bowls where the NFL team is the only thing they own. Not recently. And it comes down to the money side of it as well. Michael Bidwell, yes, he's a billionaire on paper, but he doesn't have that money just not sitting in his bank account.
Right.
And he's well off, folks. Don't get me wrong. He's well off. He's got money.
But there's well off, and then there's professional sports well off.
Then there's Kraft. It's like, I think Shaq said it best, like, there's rich, and then there's own your own yacht rich.
Yes.
And he goes, I ain't in that own your own yacht rich club.
I'm rich, but I ain't that rich.
There's always something. And that's where you get those tiers of NFL owners. And that's why I tell you guys, Michael Bidwell, if Jerry Jones, Robert Kraft call him, he's running to that phone to answer it. Because he's like, they're calling me? He's not in that tier. They kind of look down on him a little bit. Kroenke kind of looks down on him a little bit because he's not in those types of tiers. And it definitely hurts when you get to those points. They're not willing, they're not able to get to those extra levels and stuff to that effect. It's just more and more depressing when you talk about the Cardinals and what they do and what we're looking at on this ownership side, when you just see this stuff happen constantly out there. Because Paul Allen's one of the richest guys in the world, and his family, he's obviously been gone for a while now, but, you know, his sister runs everything after that and has all that. And it's not like they're hurting for money.
They also hired the right guy.
That's the thing. Hiring the right guy, if you're not in that top tier where you can go make a mistake. And I say this about the Diamondbacks. I say this about the Suns. The Suns got the right guy in Jordan Knott. They went out and took a chance at a guy that nobody else had on their radar in this hiring cycle. And they got him early because you weren't going to get him next time because you wouldn't need a coach then, hopefully. If you're not in that tier, you've got to make the decision right. And I get it. You can sit there and have all the hope you want with these guys they're bringing in and go, these guys are going to be the next it guys. Okay, you're right. Could be. Chances are, though, it doesn't work that way for the Cardinals. So see what happens. Depressing, though, Dale. You know, it's also depressing. Your 30 years of Cowboys have sucked since you haven't been there.
It's not depressing, Steve. When you're the last flickering hope. SMU went in the crapper when I left. Yeah. Cowboys go in the crapper when I left.
Dewar got better for a while.
I'm not. No, they didn't get better for a while. It's about 20 years.
It was a while before. They got better, but it was a while afterwards. Yeah.
So I'm not saying I'm the reason, but you can make the.
See you tomorrow, folks. We're not going to let that. We're not going to play with that.
Let's go, Daniel.
Super Bowl talk, obviously leading up to a Coop. If he's healthy, he'll be joining us tomorrow.
Boy, if he's not ready to go tomorrow, I am going to blow him a load.
It's been rephrasing.
I was going to say a load of crap.
I'll follow up with him. He should join us tomorrow. He was sounding better. Just had that cough last week. So we'll get him in here. Talk obviously Bobby Hurley, Suns, and that disappointment. Dale, we have look forward to now. Suns injuries. And Diamondbacks baseball starting here in about 2 weeks. Come on back, folks. Main event. See you tomorrow. I call my business. Coming up at 11 as well. See you tomorrow, everybody.